well enforced too.
That's good.
I wouldn't say enforced as much as people had a brain.
Oh, good.
Like there weren't really. I mean, the only people that didn't have a brain were the ones that got off the escalator and stopped
Yeah.
in front of the escalator, and you're just
yeah.
like, please move. I have 80 people behind me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be squished.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Awesome Con is great when it comes to stuff like that because like everybody just stops on the escalator or like right below. Ooh, I got to get a picture with that person. Well, why don't you move along and then you can get your picture just like a few steps
Exactly.
to the right.
Right.
Anyway, hey, you caught us in the middle of an Awesome Con conversation. We are live. It's Starlight Beacon Transmissions Live. We are on episode 24 of this thing. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am one of your hosts, and joining me, I have such an amazing panel of guests tonight. We are going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. We're going to get into the rundown here, but before we do that, I've got to introduce everybody making their returns. We're going to go with the returns, and then we've got one new person with us. I wonder who that could be. Making their making their return to the desk, we have Katrina Dennis from a Galaxy Far Far or Fight Club Far Far Away podcast.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Thanks so much for having me back. I'm so excited.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I know last week we had a good time talking about the Bad Batch, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm done talking about the Bad Batch for a while. Because that was 16 weeks of just straight up talking about it, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the show; it was great. But yeah, and then joining her from OTN Media, we have Joey McDermott and John Byram. John is fresh off of his weekend at Awesome Con, and I am just so happy that he's here. John, how was the show?
It was great. It was 3 days of pure awesomeness, so it was properly titled. I can confirm that.
Oh, good.
Tons of amazing Star Wars cosplay. The 501st was there, the awesome cosplayer group. There's a lot of great nonprofit charitable work all over the world. They were there as well. And yeah, Eric, maybe I can show off some swag here a little bit later on the show that I was luckily enough to pick up.
Oh, absolutely. We're actually going to get to that right after we do our introductions.
Oh.
And I mean, if you want to.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And joining us, making her debut, is one of my good friends that I met through esports and then bonded over Star Wars with, Miss Ellie Azuki. Ellie, how are you?
Doing great. A little hungry, but doing good. Can't complain.
Well, we'll try to keep it to a minimum. That way, you can get some food in your system here shortly.
I'll eat the air. It's fine. It's
You'll
free
eat the
food.
air?
The air's free. Fine.
I have a bag of Doritos over here if you want some. Guys.
Just throw
I
it
gotcha.
across for me.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
it.
Just do
exactly.
one of those forced diet things. You just like put the Doritos in the air, it'll come out the other side.
I mean, I'm honestly not joking. They're right here.
We're about to see the Force Skype live on our show. Everybody, yeah, exactly. So, so before we get into the news, I just want to let you all know. I stated on Twitter a little bit ago as one of our big announcements. Starting September 26th, we are starting an RPG show, a Star Wars RPG show, and joining me for that, we have a few of our players in our in our panel tonight on our show. We have Katrina, John, Joey, and Ellie will all be playing in our RPG.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I
Oh.
will be your GM, or as John has now said, Galactic Emperor, running the show. And so that's going to start September 26th. We are going to be in the Old Republic era, so be sure to tune in for that. It's going to allow us to do whatever we want to without having to be tied into any of the Skywalker saga. So we're far enough down the line where we can just do whatever. We're going to be running the Fate system, or a modified version of the Fate system, which is a 2d6 RPG system, where if you roll a 1 through 4, it counts as a failure, and that's pretty much what I do when I play this game. If you roll a 5 through an 8, that is a success, but something happens. And if you roll a 9 through a 12, it is a success. I'll get to the rules. I'll get to more of the rules later on down the line, but that's what's happening on the 26th of September, 8 p.m. Eastern. That will be, we're going to try to do it at least twice a month. That way we can, keep things fresh and everything. And the final player will be revealed very soon.
It's Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, I'm getting Hayden Christensen. I wish. Oh my God, I wish.
I would die.
I bet
I
he
would
would
die.
have so much fun with a tabletop RPG.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just
Is
seems
it
like
Max
that kind of
Reboot?
guy.
Yes, Max Rebo is
Reboot.
the final
Rebo?
final play.
Yeah,
Max Rebo is the
Rebo.
final
Have I
player.
been saying his name wrong all my
It's
life?
okay. It's okay. It's like Han and Han. So don't even worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, different galactic dialects.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
normal.
Who calls him a
Yeah.
hand? Like,
Lando calls him Han.
Han.
Lando calls him Han.
Ah.
That's Lando's accent.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna start calling him Han now.
because
Han
and like they
Solo.
Han.
Han Solo.
Damn it, Han.
Wherever Lando's from, that's just how they pronounce Han. It's
Yeah.
Han.
Exactly.
That's fair. That's
Well,
fair.
because they have that interaction in Solo where Han says, "Oh, this is Sabak," and he goes, "No, it's Sabak." But then like he
fair. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're good.
yeah. So I wanted to announce that. And before we get into the news, John, I know that you have some awesome con swag that you got
Do I?
that you kind of want to show off just a little bit.
Just a
Maybe.
little- okay. Since I graduated from this place a couple of years ago, I have the awesome Death Star Training Academy mug
That is awesome.
that they give all graduates. So I'll be
Ooh.
brewing my extra dark roast in there.
I think that is a real
course.
coffee too.
Coffee humor. There
Yeah.
you go. Got this awesome shirt that I'm rocking right now.
I love that it's like the
Ooh.
Major League Baseball logo too.
So I will admit, because look, fun fact for anyone who has not been to a con, on the very last day, the vendors do not want to take anything back.
Nope.
They will give you deals out the wazoo. That's when you want to buy this stuff. Got this shirt originally, it was one for $25. I got two for $30 today. So super steal. The other one is a Jedi, unfortunately, but I won't wear that outside the house. Come on. And then let me just grab this bad boy over here.
Oh, uh-oh.
No, we're going straight to the.
Are we doing it?
Open it! Like I'm getting so many mixed signals.
Open
Um,
it.
But I got the Darth Vader Dagobah model from Gentle Giant,
That is
limited
awesome.
edition. So the guy who was selling this, poor guy. Quick story. I'll make it very quick. Saw him on Friday. Told me the price of the statue or the figurine or whatever we're gonna call it was $150. Right. So I'm like, okay, that's not bad for a 1/8 replica. Fine, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll see you around. I go back on Saturday and he's like, I go, hey, what happens if you don't sell all this stuff? Like, what do you do? Do you have to ship it back to your warehouse? He goes, yeah, it's actually a lot of shipping, because I'm not local and I don't want to carry everything on a commercial flight. So I just ship it. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, what does something like this ship for? He was like, oh, it's like $40-$50. And I'm just like, man, that's a lot. He goes, yeah, it's a weird sized box. It's heavy. It's whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So I come back today. Still hasn't sold it. And he also had an Ahsoka statue next to him
Oh,
that was signed and everything. I don't have $1,400 though. I'm not going to get
yeah.
Why not?
that. Ellie,
Yeah, why
Ellie,
don't you have $1,400?
I'm going to give you my Venmo and I'll
Answer
get it
this.
next time. How about that?
I'll tell you in
Maybe.
just a minute there, farm boy. yeah.
So,
Ellie, you're the one that just got back from Disney.
Yeah. I don't even. The amount of money I spent is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So I go up to the guy and I go, okay, I go, let's talk business. Like, I want the Vader statue. I'm like, what can I do to help you get this off of your shipment list? And he goes, like my booth is called Everything's Negotiable. I'm like, all right,
That's
what's your
awesome.
offer? He goes, 200. And I go, Friday you said 150. He goes, you're right. I remember that. You caught me. He goes, okay, I'll do 150. I was like, I'm thinking 100. He goes, I don't know if I can do 100. And I was like, come on, like, you don't want to ship it. Like, that's going to cost you even more money. Like, you want to get it off your hands. He goes, well, I also don't want to lose money on it. I go, okay, well, what did you pay for it?
Yeah.
He goes, well, I paid 160 or 150. And I was like, okay, cool. I go, well, it's going to cost you $40 to ship it. So I'm going to save you that. I'm going to offer you 110. He looks at me, he goes, fine, 110. Like, done. So walked away with a $300 statue for $110.
Nicely done.
Thank you. So Daddy Vader came home today, and I was really
Daddy
happy.
Vader
So
came home.
Yay.
You should
now I
offer
just
a
don't know if I
package
open it or
Finally.
not. Like, I don't know if I want to open it, and it's like everyone's saying yes or no, yes or no, yes or no.
Open it. Open
Well,
it.
Open it. You're not gonna
You
sell
know what?
it.
They're
You
saying
might as
to
well
open
enjoy
it.
it.
The peer
Open it.
pressure is too real.
It is.
4 out of
While
five-
you get
yeah.
that ready, I'll introduce you guys again to Farm Boy here. Hey, Farm Boy. As you know, John and Joey are with us. Katrina is back with us. And we have our
Hello.
new person, Ellie Azuki. Ellie, welcome. This here is Rural Farm Boy. He is one of our biggest fans. Oh, is that the certificate of
Oh.
authenticity?
That's how you know it's
Perfection.
real. You were in
Oh,
Jim.
snap.
That's
Super
how you know
legit.
Disney absolutely destroyed my wallet today.
Yeah, because you got that certificate of authenticity. Most
This
likely.
certifies that I'm a fool for paying Disney prices. And it's kind of cool. It's actually labeled. Thank you, Flap. They're on the styrofoam too. Okay, I lied. So it's
nice.
2,000 pieces.
Oh, that's
Oh.
pretty
So-
cool though. I mean, it was a limited run though, so that's actually really cool though.
It even says Star Wars on the styrofoam. Like, that's where the cost increase comes from.
Yeah, that's why it's $300. They had to print that extra Star Wars on the styrofoam.
It is
Yeah.
all taped all around.
I don't know what my mind thought when he said 2,000 pieces. I was like, oh, so it's like Gunpla. You put it together yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's an experience.
I'm gonna grab a knife real quick because the duct tape is all over.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
go
we're
right
getting a
ahead.
live
Use your
unboxing
teeth.
right
Yeah,
here.
it's gonna be a
getting a
live
live
unboxing.
Get in there.
unboxing.
Put your
Heck
teeth in
yes,
there.
Welcome,
dude. Oh,
welcome.
yes.
Oh,
Oh, this is
man.
the good stuff.
Hey, Farm Boy, get on Twitter. Tell them we've got a live unboxing on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I keep a knife in my room. Hello.
Who doesn't?
All right.
I mean,
All right, Joey,
after
last
playing
time to
12
convince
minutes
me
this
not to
weekend,
open
I
this.
think I need to.
I'd say, I mean, if you're not planning on selling it at any point, you might as
I'm
well just
not.
open it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I mean,
Display it.
Display
Make
that
it look
baby in its
cool.
full glory.
after
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
make a Vader shrine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
the
can-
Vader shrine is happening. Like, so we were talking about
Kickstarter
like
did
how
happen.
the pricing for meeting some of the celebrities and getting autographs
Yeah.
are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, fun fact, I got an autograph from why am I blanking on his name now?
Carl Weathers,
Carl Weathers, who plays
Grief Karga.
thank you, great, thank you. I'm so tired. If he signed a pop or an action figure, that's $300.
What?
And I'm sorry. Like, I love Grief as a character. I like Mr. Weathers dating all the way back to Happy Gilmore. But I'm not paying $300. You weren't even the main star of the TV show.
No.
Wait, what was a normal signature? Just out of curiosity.
70 if it was on a picture at his table.
Wow.
Oh, did you have to pay buy the picture there too? Plus
Yeah.
No,
70?
it came with the price
Oh.
of the autograph.
Oh.
Because
mm.
sometimes for some celebrities you do have to buy the picture and then buy the autograph as well.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. And then some celebrities will charge you like 40 or 50 bucks per autograph, but since it is Star Wars, of course, he's going to, charge more.
So I got to talking like, who would I pay that kind of money for?
Yeah. Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anakin.
I would totally shell that money out.
I
It's
would
not even
do
funny.
I would do that. I would pay that money for Hayden Christensen. I would pay that money for Ewan McGregor. And I would definitely pay that money for like Ashley Eckstein too.
I was gonna say Ashley Eckstein.
Yeah.
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 Ah,
Samuel L.
it's open.
Jackson.
It's open.
Samuel Jackson.
Bring a purple
Pedro
lightsaber.
Pascal. I'll pay any money for that.
Yeah. I would also
Oh.
pay to meet God, now I'm blanking on his name. Wedge. God.
Oh, I don't know the
Oh
actual
yeah,
just
Ewan
know he's-
McGregor's uncle.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna call him Ewan McGregor's uncle.
I don't know. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Can't be on the spot like that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, I can't remember his name either. Hey, John, did you go to the Baby Yoda Power Hour that was at AwesomeCon?
It was stupid.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
It was not good.
It was just a
Um,
panel on Grogu, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was literally, what does Grogu mean for the Star Wars universe?
We already know because we watched The Mandalorian.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes, do it.
Yes. Do it.
I'm
Cut
gonna
it.
tease the lightsaber right there. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Daddy
Oh.
Vader, wah, 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 air horn.
Dennis
So-
Lawson, thank you, Farm Boy. Thank you.
Yes.
All I remember is his 2-second cameo after his stepson died in Rise of Skywalker.
That is beautiful. That is heavy. And there
It
you go on
looks
the
like
bottom
it.
too.
Is that like pewter? Is that like a pewter statue?
It was made in China.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Try
As
to
is everything.
As is everything, correct. No, it actually doesn't say what it's made out of. I mean,
I'm sure it's like heavy where it feels like
Can you
it.
smell it? Maybe you could tell by the smell of it.
Why don't you lick it?
It wasn't me this time, okay?
Eat it.
I
Why
was
not?
going to do
I'm
it.
not
yeah.
gonna eat Vader. He's
Why
too
not?
crispy.
He's too.
Too soon,
Wow.
Too soon.
Wow.
I feel bad after that one. I'm so sorry.
That just reminds me of that robot chicken joke where Vader calls the Emperor, and the Emperor's just like, "You must smell like leathery burnt feet wrapped in leathery burnt bacon."
No.
So we thank you, Farboy. So we had our unboxing. We did our RPG announcement. Let's get to some news, and then we're gonna do our breakdown of our breakdown discussion of Star Wars Visions. So this week was a huge news week for Star Wars. I know we were all checking Twitter at some point just to see like everything that they were announcing. So we're going to start with comics here. Marvel announced that they are doing a Life Day special, which I'm actually really excited for. Katrina, you look excited for this too.
I love Life Day. It's my favorite time of the year.
Me too.
Next to Halloween.
Yes. So we saw that they're doing a Life Day special. It's going to be 4 stories in this comic special that goes on sale. I think in November is when they're going to release it, right around that holiday season. And we saw Justina Ireland from the High Republic is going to be writing one of the stories, and I think it's a Chewbacca-centered story too. Which
Mhm.
is really exciting here. Let's talk about Life Day for a second, because this isn't the only Life Day thing that we're getting. We're also getting the Life Day Treasury that
Mhm.
Kevin Scott helped write, where we get our boy Stellan Gios on the cover, like looking like Batman about to strike somebody. So let's talk about Life Day. How excited are we for this special? Because outside of the now fabled holiday special that nobody really likes to talk about, and the Lego Star Wars holiday special that we got last year, I believe. Um, let's talk about Life Day. How excited are we, and what do we want to see come out of this besides this story about Chewbacca?
I would love like I don't know, my marketing brain is on it. It's like I would be going full ham for Life Day. I'd have like dress up celebrations, like I'd put up like recipes from the galaxy. I love the holidays, and so having it applied to Star Wars is always great. And while I don't necessarily like I don't necessarily like the Life Day special as a whole. It
Mhm.
has these gems of moments. Like B. Arthur has a musical number in it. Like
Oh yeah.
that's which is just the best thing in the world. It's like it's a fantastic musical number. There's like a scene where like Han is like fighting a stormtrooper, and he's like, look at that, and the stormtrooper looks that way, and then he trips the stormtrooper off of a balcony. Like that's the kind of stuff that makes me love the Life Day special. But I love Life Day as a concept, and like how it's kind of been being built up in Star Wars and in the galaxy. I remember in the before times there was a Life Day celebration that was unofficial at Galaxy's Edge over here at Disneyland, and everyone showed up in red, and they had this like little glowing ball, and like Chewie got in on it, and they like had a little Life Day parade in Galaxy's Edge. It was like so cute and nerdy, and like so many of my friends showed up for it. So yeah, just a big fan. Hoping one day this leads to the Asajj Ventress / Scrooge crossover that I am hoping for forever.
Yes.
Oh,
I like
Yes,
that.
I
I like
like
that.
that too. Before
Yeah.
we get to everybody else, real quick, you said something about treats. There is a Life Day cookbook coming out as well.
Of course.
Yes, I did see it. I did see it posted. So all of us are yes, there is Farm Boy. So all of us will
He's coming to my
probably
house
end
for
up
Life
getting this.
Day.
Yes, we are gonna have huge Life Day celebrations this year. Let's open it up. Let's get Ellie, Joey, and John in on this. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead. Tell me about Life Day and your expectations.
Yeah, I mean, just similar thoughts on my end. Like, Star Wars only has so many holidays that we celebrate as like people outside of the actual universe itself. So I feel like you got to capitalize on them, make it big on social media, throw in presentations, announcements, whether it be new books, new movies, new shows, new video games, which we're going to hit on a little bit later.
Yep.
I just feel like this is a great time to blow it up because you only get a few chances each year. Might as well do it here as well.
Yeah. Ellie
Yeah,
or John?
well,
No, John, go.
Ellie, please.
Oh,
Ladies
okay.
first.
I raised my hand.
Yes.
Okay.
I was rude. I jumped forward.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay. So Life Day is normally like a Wookiee holiday kind of thing, right? It's like
Kind of, but yeah, it's spread throughout the
traditionally,
galaxy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's
it was
like family, right?
originated,
Yeah.
by the Wookiees, and then it echoed out.
Yeah.
So they're like from Kashyyyk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lay it on
okay,
me,
so-
Ellie. Come on. Lay it on me.
All right, so the Wookiees are from Kashyyyk, so I'm expecting like for this special to have like a big old Wookiee family and be like, whoa, and then cook stuff, and then a little Ewok's gonna be there with its spear, like making cookies with them, right? And then they
my
pop
God.
out the cookbook that's gonna come out in November.
Yeah, I believe it's
it'll-
November. Yeah.
November 2nd, they're gonna be like, yo, we got the cookbook here ready, and they start cooking. And then they're like, buy your book now, pre-order or something.
So
I want more
read
advertising.
English.
Right? We could read English. We translated
yeah,
this for y'all.
exactly.
Just for you.
Oh
I
my
love
God,
this.
this is
Please.
Or they could
amazing.
have it
Yes.
written in like Wookiee language in there
Oh,
somehow.
Yeah.
so
Oh no,
so
I love it just like that.
so Ellie, I have to say, you just said Ewoks cooking with their spears. I'm just thinking of like Wicket with Logray and a few others, like making s'mores by like this giant decorated tree on Kashyyyk.
Yes. Then we could have Scrooge, the
Asajj
Christmas of
Ventress.
past spirits come
Yes,
out
Asajj
when they have a
Ventress is
campfire
Scrooge.
and s'mores, and like
Nice.
Chewbacca is gonna be Scrooge in this one because everyone loves Chewbacca, but for some reason he's mean and he's like, I'm
Galaxy's
angry
Edge
because I
cookbook,
went
I
out
got
and
it.
became a rebel and
Nice.
stuff like that.
All right, John, tell me what you got.
That like Ellie's bringing the energy right now. I gotta go last.
Oh, Ellie, you're going last from now on.
I'm excited. I mean, how do you follow that? No, I mean, I think I agree with Joey. Just the fact that this holiday is becoming more of, I don't want to call it just a marketing push, because I mean, if there's one thing Star Wars fans absolutely love, is being able to dive deeper and deeper into the lore and feel like that in some way we ourselves in our own minds can imagine that we too are involved in that universe. And holidays are a great way of doing that. I mean, you take a look at what holidays represent in human society and how it literally has the power to stop wars
Yeah.
for time periods. I mean, that's the power of what some of these days can be. And I feel like there's a great chance to possibly, I know we don't like talking about it, but bring the Star Wars fandom together a little bit more, because let's be real here, as great as the universe is, there is, not to be cliche, a dark side to everything.
Yeah.
So to try to bring the Star Wars universe and fandom back together, I think a holiday is a great way of doing that and promoting that and bringing more people together.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, Katrina, you said that there were unofficial celebrations for Life Day at Galaxy's Edge. Do you think that if this special does does take off the way we think it's going to take off, will Disney in fact finally incorporate this holiday into their parks? Because it's a great opportunity to do like a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, but with Life Day, where you can
Mhm.
sell additional tickets.
Oh, I mean, if I were Disney, that's absolutely what I would do.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously it's a money maker, and it's not something that would necessarily be new to their parks, like you said. Even around the time of Day of the Dead, they have over in Cali Adventure. There's a setup for Coco that they put together with like ofrendas and stuff, and they do it in Cars Land too. For the one car who like his voice actor died, so they set up an ofrenda for him a
Oh,
couple years ago.
Paul
That
Paul
yeah,
Newman.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So his character, because his character was like best friends with that other car, the story is that I'm not good at cars names,
That's fair.
but it's
They all
just
go
that
broom broom.
Yeah.
That's all
yeah,
I
they all
know.
go vroom vroom. So one
Lightning
of the
McQueen
vroom
and
vroom
Mater.
set up like a whole. There's like a whole ofrenda room for that character.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so like it's not something that's necessarily like new to Disney, and yeah, I mean, I would definitely have Life Day events, and then you can like rope off Galaxy's Edge and make even more money off of it.
Yeah.
I got something here for
Please
you.
give me
And
free tickets now that I've suggested it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's go.
ex-
We're all going.
especially for my next suggestion here, I think free would be the correct price. The Star Wars Galactic Star
Oh,
Cruiser
great. Here
uh,
we go.
Oh my
Life Day extravaganza. If you think the low
Oh my
price of
God, yes.
$4,800 is too low, let me introduce to you an all-inclusive 4-night Life Day celebration on the Galactic Star Cruiser, starting from the low 8,000 a person. 8,000 a person. Let's go.
Wow.
We
Per
can do
night.
this.
4
We got this.
nights? That's
We
like
got
2K
this.
a night. Yeah, sign me
Yeah.
up.
So
So I get to party with like a droid.
It'll be fully structured. You'll have
Yeah.
no time to go to Galaxy's Edge.
there's
Oh, no
no
time
reason
at
to
all?
look around
Whoa.
You'll be
you.
forced to do everything you don't want to do, including those silent disco dances, because you can't disturb the rest of the cruise. So you have your headphones on. They'll be playing a song.
What
Okay,
is
Awesome
happening?
Con. This totally happened. By the way, they were dancing like cha-cha slide. I know exactly what they're listening to right now. But yeah, that's what's gonna happen on the Star Cruiser. I'm calling it.
So
Just
that,
like 30 minutes blocked off where you have to eat like all sorts of different intergalactic fruit cakes.
yes.
Yes.
There you
Oh
go.
God,
And
no.
then their
No.
eggnog is actually just eggnog dyed blue. It's blue eggnog.
Oh, God. And green. And
And
green.
green. And green.
And
Yes,
green.
we can't forget the green eggnog either.
Will they have Jar Jar?
Yeah, well, you know
No.
what? Jar Jar became a street performer, so maybe he can do a street performance on the
So he's
Star
gonna show up
Cruiser
and dance with the other people?
Silently.
Could have passed them.
silently, according to
He's
Joey.
he's actually going by the rap name Little Jar Jar X right now.
Oh, God.
So I'm gonna need us to properly plug his SoundCloud and
Oh.
everything while we do this.
I
Please
would
and
pay.
thank
Have to
you.
install
I
a
would-
pole on the Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
Oh my
God.
god.
Oh my god.
Misa, dance for you now.
He's like, he comes out and he's just holding a blue ball. And he's like, what's up?
That'd be an extra, right? Extra package. The Jar. Oh,
That
sorry.
package
The
starts
Mr.
at
Jar
Jar
9,000.
Jar X experience.
The Jar Jar included package starts at 9,000. Let's be real.
Oh,
here.
good.
Yes.
That's for the
That's the-
standard
that's-
room, right, John?
Yes, yes.
18,000.
Jar
He's
Jar
a
room
Sith Lord.
service.
Is he a Sith Lord if I pay 18,000?
If you pay 18,000, he's gonna be whatever you want him to be.
Misa, carry your bags back to your car.
He's your bellhop.
Yes,
Get off the ship.
he's your everything.
Oh no, we gotta
He's
stick
your-
with the droid too,
he's
guys.
your
We're getting into
tables
dangerous
waiter.
territory.
Okay.
Uh,
So
We're all
so
gonna get
those
sued
are
by
our-
Disney, it's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. Well, I could kiss my press pass for celebration goodbye.
woo.
I'm kidding.
Be lucky if they let me in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. I heard that's rigorous. I heard that's so rigorous. So, so we got a little off the rails there with our Life Day stuff.
A little bit.
It's just a little bit. I'm
Right on track.
I'm just now thinking about this Jar Jar dressed as a rapper, like providing entertainment in
Misa
the
spit some
atrium of the
bars, fool.
Coliseum.
And like
He's
chains, like gold chains.
And I
Oh
love,
yeah,
Yes.
gotta have the chains.
I love.
He has a Jar Jar spinner chain. He just
It's a giant. It's
A fidget spinner.
It's a giant JJ. So anyway, so real quick before we wrap this up, I just have one more joke about what John said, where it's 4 nights, but you never step foot off Galaxy's Edge. They just keep you in orbit around Batu for the 4
Yes.
nights.
you can see from the window.
You know they had to put a disclaimer. It doesn't actually take you out to space, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, then what am I paying for? If Jeff Bezos can do it, why can't I?
oh my god. All right. So anyway, this got out of hand, but in a good way. Let's continue on here. We're going to talk more comic book news here. War of the Bounty Hunters is going on right now. And issue number 1 featured Kira. And we found out that Kira and Crimson Dawn had actually captured Han Solo. And they are the ones that are actually holding him at this point. And Marvel just announced the Star Wars Crimson Reign, which is going to be a Kira and Crimson Dawn focused series. I believe this is post War of the Bounty Hunters, and I gotta tell you, this is actually really exciting, especially for somebody like me who is a big fan of Solo. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Excuse me, I have to catch my breath for a second. Does this mean that Lucasfilm and Disney are going to move forward with a television or a movie follow-up on Disney Plus, or do you think that we will only be seeing the continuation of this story, especially post-Solo, just only in comics and maybe books? I want to open the floor here. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
I'll go last.
Okay.
Yes, you have to say because you got the best points always. So we've already established that.
Welcome to the show,
I'm
everybody.
excited. I'm really, really excited for the Kira story because it's one I've been waiting for. Like I am very much of the Church of Kira dropped Maul on Malachor and took over Crimson Dawn belief. So I'm very excited to see more of her, and I'm really excited with the way where the Bounty Hunters is moving, because a lot of these new characters that I actually like seem to be staying, and the ones that I don't like seem to be dying, and or they're like imminently going to die. So I'm really enjoying how that's going. I'm hoping that with the furthering of Kira and the Crimson Dawn, that we do get a Disney Plus series. I wish they hadn't decided to do it as a comic, but then again, you have so many stories you can tell with that large amount of time from the last time we've seen Kira. It's been almost like 15 years at this point. To tell all of those stories of what happened after Solo to Crimson Dawn. So
now, just real quick, when it comes to that, do you think that if they do go forward with a Disney Plus series or a movie, will they bring back Alden and Jonas as Han and Chewie?
not if it's about Kira, because
Okay.
if we know anything about Kira, it's that she's been avoiding Han and Chewie. So it would
Yeah.
need to be something else.
Hashtag
I would
awesome.
love to see, I would love to see Han and Chewie come back in like a Cloud Riders focused story.
Oh, with Emphas Nest and
Yeah, I think they all worked really well together, and I'd love to kind of, and they could be like our point of view to like that outside culture. So
nice. Whoever's next, go ahead.
I mean, I would just say that, like, of Solo, I would say Kira was probably the most interesting character to me.
Yeah.
Maybe outside Emphas Nest. Like, those two characters I would have loved to see expanded upon more, and unfortunately, it just didn't do what it needed to in the box office to see more of them. But now this is that opportunity. Now, do I think the comic is going to sell a ton? Probably not. But if you can start getting people to talk about it on social media, Disney is run so much by money at this point. So if they see that there's a profit to be made there, they're definitely going to explore it. They're definitely going to look into making TV series or anything like that about it. So I think the biggest thing is that people talk about it. People actually read it and talk about it.
Yeah. John, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Joey has a very good point there. It's like, you can start with the comic and kind of gauge the interest, kind of like how Marvel did with Loki.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about how, like, they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna put out a little mini series for Loki. How big is this gonna be? Well, again, to cite Awesome Con, the amount of Loki costumes, whether it was presidential Loki, even there was an alligator Loki, which I thought was pretty epic.
I was hoping.
Yeah, I do have a picture. I'll post it later, but it was fantastic.
Nice.
But the amount of people that cosplayed as Loki and just the overwhelming response that Disney and Marvel got from that Loki series, that's what you need to do as a fan base. If you want to see something happen, you have to take to social media. You have to talk about it. You have to get people excited about it. If it starts with a comic, that's great, because that means they're willing to put that much resource and time and effort into that story to create that medium for you. If you want even more, you got to buy it. You got to talk about it. You got to post it on social media, like Joey said. Make the hype real, and then who knows? You might get a mini series on Disney Plus.
And just to add to your point, this is something Star Wars fans have been good about for a very long time. If the Ahsoka campaign is just like a shining example of showing fan interest, not being a jerk about it, and just showing passion for a character who has so much story to tell. And I think Kira is one of those, and so is Afra, and that's how they're building both of them up.
Real quick before I get to you, Ellie, this is something really interesting here, because we haven't seen Kira since Maul's death in Rebels. So it'll be, and we're starting to see her run Crimson Dawn the way that she's running it in this comic series. But I would like to see her really, if we do get a follow-up here, I want to see Maul training her not only to take over Crimson Dawn, but in the ways that Darth Bane trained his apprentice, where at some point I'm dying and you have to take over. I just wanted to point that out real quick, because I think Maul is really, really critical to this follow-up. And Ellie, go ahead. Tell me your thoughts.
It's gonna be a weird thought, but a good one.
Okay.
All right.
I love this.
So, trying to phrase it in my mind first. Okay, so I did not know who Kira was walking into the Solo movie. All right.
Yeah.
So, all I knew was the actor was from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her character, but I didn't like how they portrayed her. It wasn't the actor's fault or anything. She just felt like a little lackluster to me.
Okay.
But then I was like, no, she's female and she's in it. There's a reason why they focused on her. I need to know why now. So I picked up a comic and read. Yeah. I read words and I liked the words. And I was like, why didn't it translate well in the movie? I was so confused. So I hope they do a mini series like they did for The Mandalorian, since Disney's in a spree of making shows now for some reason, which is good. That means more content for us, and people should just go on social media, be like, more stuff for her, please. More cosplayers that need to pop up about her too, because that's a bigger way for people to know who the character is to some extent. Because if you see a cosplay and you're like, whoa, that looks cool, you're gonna who is she? You're gonna Google it, find out about her. Then you're gonna read the comic. People like comics because there's more pictures than words.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're gonna get connected to the character, and they should do a series, and then they should do a Lando one after that.
Well, Lando is getting a Disney Plus show.
Wait, is it going to be the same actor?
Yes, Kathleen Kennedy did say. I believe she did say that Donald Glover was coming back.
How expensive is it going to be?
Well, Disney has tons of our money right now, so they can pay any of these actors anything, really.
Yeah, they are paying Ewan, and they're paying Diego for Andor. So
yeah,
you know exactly how they're making that money back.
Too.
Oh,
They're making it back from
People like
Star
you?
Cruiser.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I mean,
they're making it
it's
back through
exactly
Star
how-
Cruiser
That's
and our
exactly how they're
Life
making the
Day
money back.
celebrations.
Yes.
Right?
And poor Jar Jar is gonna get pimped out. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
exactly.
It's
It's
not
Why
gonna be
good.
for
great.
him? He's gonna be
I-
great. He's gonna
now-
be making money. More people will like him for once.
Well, okay. Quick side note: Jar Jar really got redeemed because of Clone Wars. Because at first he was
Yeah.
kind of annoying. Clone Wars really did redeem him. Um,
Mhm.
I see Farm Boy in chat. Just Farm Boy keeps spamming that hashtag make Solo 2 happen. Because it does need to happen. Not just because of the Kira thing, but because we do need a follow up to Solo. But but I do like what you say about Disney just getting all the money back because of the Star Cruiser, because we know tons of people are going to be on that first voyage and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So let's move on here. I actually, since we're bringing up TV, I do want to talk about two TV things, and then we're going to get into Gamescom and our predictions there. So for TV wise, we just mentioned the Cassian Andor series. That, according to Diego Luna, that has finally wrapped filming. And this is a Cassian Andor Rogue One prequel because, spoiler alert, if you haven't
Don't
seen
do it.
Rogue One in the
Don't do
last 5 years, Cassian Andor is dead.
No, he's not. I don't
No,
believe
he's
that.
not.
No
Really?
way.
No, not
No.
happening. No, didn't happen.
No, it
Did he
didn't happen.
drown?
Pixar,
Did
it
they
didn't
drown?
happen.
It's okay.
I believe me too. I am in the denial stage as well. Still 5 years later, that he's not dead. Um, but out of all the characters in Rogue One, I think that this is an interesting character to go with, because besides Jyn Erso, he's the one that really does get the most development in that movie. I mean, Baze and Chirrut get some development, and Bodhi gets some development, but really the two main characters of that movie are Jyn and Cassian when it comes to it. Now, Jyn got some character development in Catalyst, which was the Rogue One prequel novel, as well as Rebel Rising, which was a Rogue One prequel novel. But to see Cassian Andor, are we going to see Cassian, to quote the character, are we going to see him from 6 years old and moving forward, where he finally joined the fight?
I think we're gonna go
I
back
think-
to when he's 6. I mean,
It's a
maybe.
key line.
I mean, maybe in his early 20s, because
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't think they'd go out of their way to typecast a kid real quick
Yeah.
for maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe one episode. And then to me, it just feels like that storyline would jump too much.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they'll pick everything up from like his early 20s, or maybe even his late teens when he's joining the resistance. So,
The
yeah,
resistance.
Yeah, I definitely see that line as being like a one-scener, if
Yeah.
anything. I think the biggest sin that you can commit as a Star Wars fan is clinging to one line.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
it almost never comes out really well for you. So yeah, I fully agree. Like I think
Yeah.
it would be cool for us to see him like already in the fight, but still young enough to tell this like interesting and developmental story.
Now, we know that this is going to be a 12 episode series so far. We do know that Alan Tudyk will be coming back to play K2SO.
Yes.
Is now
Favorite
what? Yeah, well, yeah, he's an amazing droid.
So good.
Now, do you think that we'll see other characters from Rogue One show up in this show as well, such as Antok Merrick, who is my favorite X-wing pilot of all time? I'm pretty sure we'll go see Blue Leader. Now, is there an opportunity where we see Hera in this show as well?
I wouldn't put it past him because Hera is such an interesting character.
Mhm.
But I think that what I'm holding out for is some more Jimmy Smits as Bail Organa in this
Yes.
show.
Mm.
Because if I were at Disney and I happen to still be alive in the same time that Jimmy Smits is alive, I would want to pay him to be Bail Organa some more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm holding out for, is that we get with Cassian we have that, but we also have those moments where he's interacting with other people's stories. Like maybe we'll see Bail and a young Leia and what Alderaan was like before it blew up, because we haven't really gotten to see that on screen just yet.
No.
So
The only thing that we've gotten with that was the Leia
comics.
Princess of Alderaan comic and
Mhm.
the book. Joey, Ellie, go ahead and weigh in on this, please. I don't want to feel like I'm telling you what to do, but I
No,
want
you're
to hear
good.
from you.
No, I mean, I would say in
Me-
like a similar line, like Star Wars has shown so many cameos. You look at
Yeah.
like Clone Wars, you look at Bad Batch recently. There have been so many little flashes here and there between the two series. I don't see any reason they wouldn't carry it over here as well.
Yeah. Ellie?
Sorry. I think I'm just gonna throw you out of the loop again.
Okay, go right ahead.
What if? All right.
Okay,
Here we
idea
go.
with y'all.
Strap
Okay,
in, everybody.
What if they didn't die in Rogue One? Okay, and like it's an alternate universe, like they're doing with Marvel with the
Oh,
What If
God.
series,
Oh, no,
and they
here we
all
go.
survive, and that's the whole thing.
I'm gonna go
Like,
grab
what if
alcohol.
they did
I'll be right
survive?
back.
This is
I'm
like
just-
a hallucination that Cassian is having within the last 2 seconds of his life.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
that
she's not like,
whole-
oh,
It's probably like
let's not do that mission.
It's
Let's
probably-
figure another way to save the world and stuff.
it's probably like
Make
that
it
that scene where it's like, well, I bet you're wondering how I got here. This is how we did it.
Let me take you back 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it happen.
I mean,
They're
it could
in the
happen.
loop going doing like alternate universes now.
I mean, Visions is kind of like our first step into the what if scenario when it comes to Star
Mhm.
Wars. Um, I I do have to say though, I'm really excited about this because we haven't really gotten like a spy thriller type movie or TV show when it comes to Star Wars. I mean, Rogue One was a straight up war movie, which was absolutely what it needed to be in order to tell its story. With Cassian, we saw a little bit of the whole spy thing, but like we didn't see much. This is the opportunity to really like flesh out his character and to really talk about how he's done some things that he isn't proud of in the name of the rebellion, in the name of freedom. Um I don't want to like say where we speculate things, but who do you think is going to be the big bad for this show? Is it going to be somebody that we're familiar with, or are we going a whole new direction with a brand new character?
New character. That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with, because I think the only other major player we've had outside of like, I think, Mon Mothma and a couple other characters that have been like announced or rumored or something was Adria Arjona, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me and my love for evil women, but I'm just getting this feeling that our big bad, like everyone thinks she's gonna be Cassian's sister. I think she's gonna be. A villain.
Okay, real quick, when it comes to like a female villain, could we get Ray Sloan?
Oh, that would be obviously not Adria playing her, but
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah, that's a perfect time frame for Ray Sloan.
Yeah. If you're unfamiliar with Ray Sloan, she is
Grand Admiral.
well,
Ray
yes,
Sloan.
she is a Grand Admiral. I apologize. She's she's one of the highlights of Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy. She's also in A New Dawn, which is the Rebels prequel novel. She is a character that has only really been in the comics. She was also in Squadrons in the campaign for Squadrons. But I just had to ask that question. Ellie, I saw that you were gonna say something. I want to hear your thoughts on what you were gonna say.
I'm Googling. Give me a
You're
minute.
Googling, okay.
I'll pitch in while she's Googling. I
Yeah.
think this is another, I brought up Afra a little earlier.
Yeah.
And that is another character that I'd love to see from the books and comics who has a substantial fan base.
Yeah.
I'd love to see her come to live action. And she's definitely part of that crop where it's like Hera, Kira, Afra. I definitely think they have potential for that.
There's one character that I would love to see Afra interact with, and he made his live action debut this past season in The Mandalorian, and that's Cobb Vanth. I would love to see Afra like like really just interact with Cobb Vanth, because to me, like they're two sides of the same coin, or they're the same side of the same coin, where she gets, she gets the job done a little bit, but he's also not afraid to get his hands dirty either when it comes to that
They're
stuff.
like rogue classes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anybody else while Ellie's Googling?
I'm done.
Okay, Ellie, go hit me.
I was Googling who she was.
Oh, Ray Sloan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's add her as the main villain, but
Yeah.
we're gonna give her the same treatment we did Queen Amidala while she was in disguise, and give her over 9,000 outfit changes and progression.
Okay.
She gets cooler and cooler, and with darker colors, tighter clothing, and most of it is leather. And she has gets 6 lightsabers out of nowhere.
Okay.
Not 6, but
She's
Wow,
gonna
we're more
be-
like General Grievous status
Yeah.
over here.
yeah,
Well,
that's what I was
we're
thinking
gonna-
in my head.
4 more arms and
Yeah.
start just,
I mean, if she could
She just says
technically
hello
make
there instead of General
droids
Kenobi.
use lightsabers, won't they count as her lightsabers, not the droids?
Well, that's a good point. And we're gonna talk about Darth Mary Poppins here in a little bit when we talk about Visions. Um,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Is this why I'm not a show writer?
No, it's fine. I love your ideas. I mean, your Life Day special ideas are still just running in my head.
It would make a lot of money. They
It
could make
would, it
DVD
would.
sales out of it. I mean, Blu-ray.
Blu-rays, yeah, and 4K.
Blu-ray, not DVD or VHS. My bad.
Oh no, I would love to see a Life Day special go back to VHS. I think that would be great. Anyway, we keep going back to Life Day here.
I'm really excited for Life Day, you guys.
Yeah, we're really excited. As you can
Cookbook.
tell,
Excited
we're
for
all
this.
gonna get together around the holidays, and we're gonna do our own Life Day thing.
Yeah, we're gonna do our own cooking stream.
Yes.
we should. We
Life
really
Day
should.
meal stream.
Yes. So
Love it.
So let's move on here. I think we covered Cassie and Andor pretty well, and how we're excited for this thing. Any closing thoughts on the on this series wrapping up? Actually, my question would be, in closing, we know this is going to be a 2022 release. Are they going to wait until after Celebration to release this, or do you think this is going to come right at the heels of Book of Boba Fett in late January, early February?
February. So it could be a Valentine's gift for your loved ones.
There you go. Because nothing says Happy Valentine's Day like Diego Luna.
Yes! Then he win an award. He's the first Mexican actor to be in a Star Wars movie.
No,
he is a big deal in Mexico.
No, he really is, and I give
Who
him.
doesn't want Diego Luna in their house?
Exactly.
Don't
I
get me
always
wrong.
want
I
Diego
think
Luna
he's
in my house.
there. You go.
During Life
I
Day
want-
too.
During
Cooking.
Life Day.
Yeah.
He's got the whole Rogue One crew with him, and he tells Chirrut to chop up some vegetables. Or no, he
Yes.
tells K2SO, and K2SO is like, I'm chopping these vegetables because Cassian told me I had to.
Exactly. Space Mexican holiday food
Yes,
is
there we
probably
go.
the best food.
Right?
I mean,
It's
Aranto Rap
probably really
is kind
good.
of Aranto Rap is kind of in that ballpark.
It's like a burrito.
It's a little like a burrito. It's a little like a hero though. It's a little
Yeah,
more
it
on the
is.
Greek side, I'd say.
It
But
is.
yeah. I feel like we
A
should have
gyro?
Ronto tacos. I would love
Oh,
that.
we
Yeah.
should do Ronto tacos anyway.
Ah.
So we're thinking February, or you're thinking February, Ellie. All right. Who
One
else?
Lena bet.
Mhm.
50 credits.
it wouldn't surprise me if they waited a month or two
Yeah.
at the end of Book of Boba Fett. I mean, I would love it at the same time,
Yes.
but I know why they wouldn't want to do that. Obviously, you just want to. I mean, you want to drag it out. I'm going to say drag it out like it's a negative thing,
No.
but you want to space it out so it's still relevant. People aren't overloaded. I would say it follows it by month and a half. That way, it
Okay.
gives time. If people who aren't able to watch it as it releases, it gives them that time to catch up before the next series starts up. I would probably expect about a month and a half after it
Okay.
wraps.
Katrina, what you got?
Do we know when Obi-Wan's hitting?
They said 2022. Okay, so my prediction for Obi-Wan is they'll announce that at Celebration.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get like hard dates on our 2022 and 2023 releases
Yeah.
at Celebration. I don't know. I don't know. It depends, I guess. Because those are, that's wrap filming. Obi-Wan's real close to wrapping
Yep.
filming. They're probably gonna start Ahsoka real soon
Yeah.
because casting is in principle right now. So yeah, I don't know. I can't say for sure. It would have to be based on like I would need to know where Obi-Wan is first.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Joey.
February 2022. Confident, very confident.
Mm,
Mm,
Yeah,
I like it.
February squad.
I
nice.
I'm thinking February as well. I really think that they're gonna wait to drop Obi-Wan until after Celebration. Because if you look at it, this is going to be the celebration where you reunite Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and for
Mm.
them to like reunite them like that would be such a big moment. And then say, oh, by the way, we brought the trailer rolling.
Right.
Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just kill me
Pretty
there.
much.
Just,
Yeah. I mean,
just bury me there.
yeah. Because this is also probably going to be the celebration where we find out more about Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie, and where we're finally going to get more details on Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking for that. But we're not done with TV yet. We're gonna move on here to the gallery, which if you haven't watched the gallery on Disney Plus, it's actually a really great show that talks about the behind the scenes filming of The Mandalorian with season one and season two. We are getting a bonus episode this week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. And it's going to cover the season finale of The Mandalorian, the season two finale, and we are going to see um, Mark Hamill come back as Luke Skywalker again, without the deep fake that they did to make him younger looking. And we got a little teaser trailer with Dave Filoni talking about how at the end of the day, Star Wars should make you feel good. You should have this good feeling. And as Star Wars is essentially about family, and having Mark Hamill come back was like having a member of the family come back and like have this reunion. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are we for this episode of the gallery just to see like the behind the scenes filming for this?
Like
Over
200.
9,000.
Over
Yes.
9,000.
So excited! I will make the Kessel run in 9 parsecs.
Oh.
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah, super
Incredible.
excited.
Hmm. Yeah, I loved the last episode of
Yeah.
Disney Gallery, and so like it's Mark coming back. It's finding out. I really want to learn about all the filming. Like I have my opinions about the Ahsoka episode, but the way it
Yeah.
was filmed
Oh
was
yeah.
beautiful, and I am so excited to find out about the process behind that, and then also just learn more about Timothy Oliphant as Cobb Vanth, because that was one of those wild
10.
predictions that I put out. I was like, Cobb Vanth is gonna find Fennec Shan because he's got Boba's armor. And I was like, real close. It was just off, just off. So
Just a little bit.
really, just a little bit off.
Yeah.
Boba found Fennec, but
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth didn't have his armor.
Well,
So I wasn't wrong.
I
So I'm really excited to hear more about that character and how they brought him. Because this was, that season where these characters that weren't live action came to live action. So
yeah. Um, I think that when it comes to Timothy Oliphant, he was casted perfectly as Cobb Vanth
mhm,
because if you look at what he did in Justified and Deadwood, he's playing pretty much Cobb Vanth in those two shows. Um,
mhm.
so yeah, I think he's perfect with that, and just seeing Mark Hamill come back. Joey and then I want to hear from Ellie and then John. Talk to me about this bonus episode of the gallery that we're getting.
I think it's interesting. It's always nice to kind of see behind the scenes and like what's going on, whether it be the filming itself, whether it be the whole process of how it all comes together. Like I recently did a Warner Brothers Studios tour, which was really cool.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just fascinating to see like how every single part is done, whether it be the voiceover recording booths to the screen to how everything is like synthesized together. It's so elaborate. And that's why these shows take so long to put together. And then you have the minds like Filoni, like seeing all of that come together all with this from the music to the filming to the ideas to the scripting. Like it's fascinating to see behind the curtain.
Yeah. Ellie.
My turn. Okay. So nothing too crazy this time. I promise y'all. Nothing too
Okay.
crazy. All right. Be a
Fine,
reasonable
this
human
is a
being
behind
today.
the scenes thing, so keep.
I
it
can't be
going.
too crazy. We already know what happened. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
We already saw the original show. Okay, so I just originally just like love like this series in general because I've been watching like the Imagineers behind the
Mhm.
attraction,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
they do like an actual serious one for once. I rhymed a little bit, but
You did.
yes. Okay, but I just like seeing like the magic that was going on, like for the fight scenes, and then how like the music
Composition.
composition that was going on. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to tone it down to y'all.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But-
Bring all the
You're
energy,
just like
Ellie.
composition.
Composition, no, like the music, the rhythm,
Yeah.
cut time, sharps, flats, everything. It was
Crescendos.
on point. Crescendos, diminuendos.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Perfection.
Yeah. It
Perfection.
was.
I just wish they did it with the other shows too.
Yeah. John, go ahead.
Yeah, look, behind the scenes is always cool. I mean, dating all the way back to the original trilogy when, George Lucas comes out and it's like, yeah, I literally had a, model that was maybe 3 inches big on a wire fly past the camera and was the sound of a TIE fighter. And you're just like, and then you think movies in the 70s, like that was pretty advanced at the time.
Yeah.
And then you look back at it now, you're like, wow, that's still actually pretty impressive. And then now with all of the technology today, I don't know if I'm going to say it's disappointing or not, but sometimes the magic might get lost a little bit when you see how much green screen is actually all around our favorite characters and just realize like 90% of what we see is actually not even a physical prop. It's just CGI. But at the same time, how cool is it that technology has gotten to that point where we can literally create a universe through CGI that immerses millions and millions of people around the world. So I think that's really cool. And like when Luke Skywalker showed up, I think I'm there with everyone else. That season finale was emotional as anything. And Luke showing up, having his Vader entrance that we saw from Rogue One.
Yep.
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. It was absolutely fantastic. And the fact that Mark Hamill came back for it was just the icing on the cake. I'm in the camp that I was not a fan of how Luke went out in the final trilogy. So I felt like this was kind of like a redeeming take on the whole Luke Skywalker, in the saga. But, I liked it. I think it's going to be great. And I think the behind the scenes that will really give fans that behind the scenes look that I think a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, to expand
Character
on that just a
note.
little bit, like, I'll go ahead, Katrina.
Go
You
ahead.
go
Oh.
first.
No, it's just so quick, super quick character note. I love that both Luke and Leia have now had Vader entrances in canon. Like, I know you're
Yes.
not a fan of the sequel trilogy, but Leia, yeah, the way she did that when she came in and the smoke was coming out from the door and she had her, I was just like, oh, that's a
Total
Vader
BA
entrance.
moment.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. Joey.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so with the whole behind the scenes look, and maybe there has been one and I just missed it. Have they ever done one for the animated shows at all?
We got Rebels Recon, which was like about the writing for like each episode, but like we never like really got like an in-depth behind the scenes like look at the animated shows.
Because I feel like that would be interesting too. Like even if they comboed it a little bit with some footage from like Clone Wars with Bad Batch, I feel like
Yeah.
that's one territory that's not super discovered right now either.
Yeah. I think
Like character design and all that. Like
Yeah,
Like
like
their
the whole
brainstorming and
process
stuff like that?
behind like an animated show versus like a real life filming show with all the CGI.
Well, I know there's a couple things on YouTube that you can find. The one that I'm going to bring up is just because there was a moment that my favorite Star Wars character ever was about to make an appearance, and that's Darth Revan. That was axed. They actually have kind of a behind the scenes um episode on YouTube. I don't know if it's on Disney Plus or not, but they actually went through the process of why that scene was cut, why that episode was cut, why everything just kind of changed there, and you got to see the rough animation. It wasn't finished, it wasn't polished or anything at all. It was really rough 3D models, and they kind of took you behind the scenes of that scene, and then the explanation of why it was cut. So I think that might be one of the only times we've seen anything like that. But no, Joey, I'm right there with you. I think the animation going behind the scenes of that would be really, really cool. Also,
Yeah, it's just fascinating. It's something that's not
Yeah.
really touched on too much. And Disney trying these different angles, I think we'll eventually probably see something like that.
Now,
They can do like just a 1 hour special on it.
Yeah.
yeah,
That'd be
for
fun.
each
I'm greedy.
show.
Give me 2 hours.
Yeah.
Hour
90
and 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's all you get.
Okay, and then the rest is credits.
Yeah, there you go. It's like a Marvel movie. Anyway, going back to your point, John, about Revan, I think that was going to be in the final Yoda arc of season 6 of Clone Wars, because I think he meets Darth Bane when he goes to Morabon, and
Mhm.
it was actually supposed to be Revan, I think. Which
Yeah,
I
the
think-
Revan and someone else. It was supposed to be Revan and.
It was supposed to be someone. Yeah, it was supposed to be Revan and one other character I'm blanking on.
was
But
it
I
Malik?
don't think it would have been Malik.
It was somebody else.
Bastilla?
Yeah,
Google it.
Bastila?
no.
No, he wouldn't have met Bastila.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing.
Bastila wouldn't have had the time for him.
No, yeah, that's true too. That's true. Actually, it was HK47. He called him a meatbag.
So funny that actually came up at AwesomeCon about how we got K2SO, but we would never get HK47 because it's too edgy for Disney. Because you can't have a droid going around calling people a meatbag.
I don't know. K2SO would have called him a meatbag, I think.
K2SO would have done a lot. Absolutely. Let's see here.
Are you Googling it?
I am Googling it right now, and it's giving me the deleted scene, which is awesome. But I know the reason why they cut it. It's
Yeah.
Darth Bane.
It was
Darth Revan
okay.
and Darth Bane.
Mm.
Okay, so it was going to be
The reason they cut it is because if you're on the dark side, you don't have the ability to be a Force ghost, which, sorry, George, I disagree with you on that as a member of the dark side, but, that's fine. I will,
Well, I think that they should be Force ghosts, but like
Yeah.
instead of it being like a kind of like a presence like Obi-Wan was and stuff like that, it should be like a haunting. Like since they're from the dark side, like they should haunt these places.
Like the Night Sisters were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, in Revan's defense, Revan wasn't necessarily a dark side user.
No,
that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, Revan was a user of the dark side, but Revan could still be a Force ghost. So
Yeah, he was
That's my
definitely
defense.
redeemed, but
that's my defense as to why
You-
Revan
It's
should be a
fine.
Force ghost.
no, I agree. But then then Disney would have to recognize Knights of the Old Republic and as actual. We're not going to go down that road.
we're gonna recognize it on September
Yes.
26th.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm just gonna say, I think you're gonna get Old Republic stuff sooner than
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
I think there's
they
stuff in
better.
the works.
I'm going to hold it
Um,
against you, Joey.
Now-
I
go
I
ahead,
know
John.
there's some stuff in the works, so
Yeah. Now,
How do you know?
oh, he knows.
because I have some sources.
Oh,
At
but
least
he
in the
will never
video
tell you
game
the
side
source.
with some
He'll never
connections.
He
tell
will
you.
never tell you the source.
No,
Oh,
I
the
won't.
magic
Just
table.
like
Yes,
I'm,
sources.
just like I'm like holding on a thread with your Halo Infinite thing, just real quick here, Joey. But anyway, going back
I
to
still have my knife here.
yeah, going
I'll
back
join you.
to what you said, Katrina, about how Revan redeemed himself. Revan, to me, especially like nowadays when it comes to current canon, I see a lot of Darth Revan and Elzar Mann in the High Republic, where he dabbled in the dark side, but he recognized that he did it and recognized that he needed help after doing it. Similar to what Revan kind of does in Knights of the Old Republic, where he does tap into the dark side, but depending on how you play the character,
Yeah.
you can go back to the light and just say, hey, that was the one time that I tapped into the dark side. So I'm getting a little bit of that in current canon now with Elzar Mann. But going back to the behind the scenes thing, I think that we're all excited about the gallery. It's definitely one of the more interesting things, especially like with Dave Filoni. I could listen to Dave Filoni talk about Star Wars and philosophy all day.
Mhm.
Especially like when he talked about the prequel trilogy. So let's move on here to our final news topic, and then we're going to get into our breakdown of Star Wars Visions. We have Gamescom coming up this week in Germany. All of us here are big gamers, as we talked about last week on the show. We It was confirmed by Jeff Keighley on Twitter that Joey's favorite game of the year that hasn't come out yet, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, will be shown at Gamescom during the opening night presentation. Now, we know that Microsoft is going the day before with their Xbox and Bethesda presentation, and I believe EA might be showing stuff throughout Gamescom, Joey. Is that correct?
I don't know on EA.
Okay.
They're there, but I don't know what they're showing.
Okay. So we know we're finally getting Skywalker Saga. Um, we'll talk about that, and then we also got to talk about any predictions here. What is the release date going to be for Skywalker Saga? Do we get it this holiday season?
Yeah. I wouldn't like it. It's a that's a holiday release.
Yeah.
That's definitely when. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the majority of stuff. So he's showing 30 games in opening night live. I would say probably 20 to 25 of them are releasing this year.
Yeah.
So there's a very good chance.
Okay. Ellie?
Yes.
Okay.
All the monies.
All the
They're all
monies,
coming out.
all the credits.
No, I'm just kidding. 1/4 of them. All the credits, Republican credits.
All
They're
the
accepted.
Republic credits.
Yeah.
So I saw that there's going to be over 300 playable characters in this game. Is that correct?
I don't know the exact number, but I know it's massive. Like, and they're doing everything. So it's not just the 9 mainline films. They're also going to have Rogue One content in there. I know they worked on Mandalorian stuff. I don't know if it'll be there on launch or if that'll eventually be some kind of DLC. But it's going to expand past just the 9 films.
Nice. Whoever wants to take it away with Skywalker Saga, go ahead.
I'm Googling it.
I'm really excited. I love Lego content for Star Wars. I loved what they did with the holiday special, and
Yes.
I expect us to get more fun, outlandish stuff. Like I've always been a fan of like the Lego Star Wars games and the storytelling methods they use, and I'm really holding out for lots of Clone Wars content. Maybe if we're super lucky, given the release date, we'll get like little Bad Batch in there. I think that would be great. Wonderful to see them. Yeah, I'm excited. Very excited to play this with my nieces.
Nice. One of my favorite things about the storytelling in the Lego Star Wars games goes back to the original game where Vader reveals to Luke that he's his father. And he pulls out a Polaroid and points to the Polaroid and then points to Luke. And like that's like the only thing that you get. It's really funny. It's super cute the way that they handle it. So I don't even know what my point was going to be, or even my question. Um, I guess my question is, are we going to get moments like that, or are we going to get more like voice acting like we got with like the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, or like what are we going to see through this?
I think it's mostly going to be funny bits like the one you just described.
Yeah.
Because they're mentioning that they're like, I'm seeing on the site that there is going to be a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be able to play as Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like, are they really going to voice Palpatine? Would a kid want to hear Palpatine? Let's be real.
I mean,
yes and no.
If they get Matthew Sunreich to play him from Robot Chicken, I think, or Seth MacFarlane to play him from Robot Chicken, I think we'd be okay.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
That'd be great.
Have they? The recent ones have been voiced though, haven't they?
I believe the Clone Wars one was voiced.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you got to remember when it comes to voicing and Star Wars is that like a lot of those Clone Wars voice actors have returned and doubled up and tripled up on several characters. So they could easily do this with, I mean, if they have like, let's say 20 of those characters are clones, you have D. Bradley Baker. You don't need to call anybody else in. So, like, I definitely think that's kind of the route. Like, obviously, we're not going to get like, Billy D as Lando unless he feels like it. But I feel like we're going to have, like a pool of 20 actors who cover this whole thing.
I don't know. Daniel Jose Alder did a pretty good Lando in his audiobook version of Last Shot. So,
That's true.
Anybody else want to run with this?
I think there are voice actors. I wish there wasn't. If there's an option to turn them off, I probably will.
Okay.
I think one of the things that sets the Lego games apart, to be honest, is just those crazy facial reactions. The idea of like the photograph, like you mentioned, Eric, the
Yeah.
ability to kind of relay that information without that audible. So
Mhm.
for me, I think that's one of the unique things that come with these games.
Mhm.
But at the same point, it is a big budget game. This is going to be the best looking Lego Star Wars game, by far the biggest, not even close to any other one. So they're going to go all out for this one for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is voice acting.
Cool. John.
I honestly think it's going to be a hybrid of both. I mean, I think they understand that those silent moments, is what really, triggered a lot of gamers to fall in love with the original Lego Star Wars series games. So why not continue that, and add in voice actors, maybe in those areas that need a little assistance here and there. I don't think it's going to be a game that is, packed full of voice actors. I do think it will be a hybrid version of the two, so you still get those classic moments.
Who?
Might pick and choose so they voice or not. Kind of like in the JRPGs where the main character's always silent, but everyone else and their baby mamas get to talk, kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I love
Or
that.
you
Yeah,
just hear-
exactly.
Or you just hear the main character go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the content for this game also. Joey, we mentioned there might be Bad Batch content. Is this just going to be a one season DLC thing? Is it going to be multiple years of DLC? Like, what do you see happening?
I mean, Katrina, you might know this better than me, but I don't believe there's been any DLC for these games before. I feel like they've all been full on releases. So I think that would be the plan. If anything, maybe 1 or 2 DLC packs for some of the Disney Plus series.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with your point because if anything, I would expect a part two, if there were to be like more added. But I think especially with the predicted release date that we all kind of have in mind, where it's going to be the holidays, like I don't think they're going to need to add anything else to this
Yeah.
game. Like everything that we know is already out, and whatever they're going to put into the game is stuff we're already acquainted with. So yeah.
Just as long
And
as
if anything, it'd be like the Mandalorian, and that's the cutoff because they're going to want to sell these games later down the line as well. So anything past the Mandalorian, I think creation wise, like our time, not like galactic time, I think is probably the cutoff for sure.
I mean, you could even make the Mandalorian its own separate standalone game. You could probably do the same thing with the Bad Batch too.
yeah, especially later
Yeah, I
down the line.
disagree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially later down the line when you get multiple seasons. As long as I get Poe Dameron trying to roast a Ronto for Life Day, I'm happy. Like he was trying to do in that Life Day special. So let's move on to our predictions here. Joey, you and I have talked in the past, John, you too, about how EA is pretty much sitting on Jedi Fallen Order here with not announcing Fallen Order 2. They said they're going to double down on this franchise, expand this franchise. As a last minute surprise, do we get a Fallen Order 2 announcement?
Did we say this at the same time, Joey?
I mean, I think you guys go first, and then I will.
I honestly don't think we
Fill in.
will. To be completely honest, I don't trust EA with anything. And even if they do announce it, it's probably going to get delayed. Like, I look. I mean, it's as much as I would love Fallen Order 2 to be announced, or any kind of teaser, or just any kind of information. With EA, I kid you not, I have a sit back and when I see it approach from EA. I mean, you just can't get your hopes up with that developer or with that studio. It's just you just can't, because they will let you down almost every time. Now, I'm not saying Fallen Order was a bad game. It was fantastic. Respawn did a fantastic job with that game and everything. It was by far, I would argue, probably the best Star Wars game ever. Almost ever. I would probably put in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
So, yes, it needs a 2. It needs a sequel. It needs another game in the series. Does it happen at Gamescom? I'm going to say no. But if they want to surprise me, they can. But I just don't see it happening.
Okay. Katrina, I see you thinking over there. What's up?
I mean, I don't think we're gonna see it so soon. I think that like all of this preliminary chatter is an indicator that things are still in a really early development stage of Fallen Order 2.
Mhm.
With everything everyone said, like it's clear that there are really big expectations for this game,
Mhm.
and so I don't see them like releasing anything within the next year.
Yeah. Ellie, what you got? Nothing. Okay.
No, no,
uh,
no. Because
um,
yeah.
don't they do like Battlefield and like Apex?
they do Battlefield and Apex, and I guess a lot of the team from Respawn is working
Mm,
on more Apex stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I won't
Um,
correct you.
um, and yeah, they are gearing up for their Battlefield 2042 release. So if we don't get Fallen Order 2, even though okay, so here's my only problem with this, and I'm gonna go back to your point, John. At least give me like a teaser cinematic or something, like a 1 minute thing. If you can do it for the Outer Worlds 2 during your Xbox showcase, and that thing's at least 2 years away, you can do it for Fallen Order 2. You could just
I
have
would argue. Sorry, God.
you could just have Cal Kestis and BD1 like standing on the plane, standing on a plateau or something, and then just have him ignite the lightsaber and say Fallen Order 2.
Yeah, you could totally do that. You could give them the Starfield treatment too, where it's like,
Yeah.
a ship, a voiceover, narration of what the storyline might be, and maybe a model of a character here and there, and cut it. That's all you need. Like I think what we saw with Starfield was 100% what you need to do to reassure fans that yes, there is still progress going on in this game. This is what we can show you, and yes, it's progressing. If you can do that, I mean that might be asking a lot from EA,
Yeah.
but you give me 30, 45-second trailer just like that, I'm sold. I will stop talking bad about EA. Simple as that if they actually do that. I don't think they will,
No.
but that's all they would need to do.
I mean, Starfield, you bring that up. Starfield is the perfect example of how you tease a game. Bethesda did it, what, 2 years ago, initially with just teasing the logo. And then we got the trailer this year, which, quick side note, if you haven't watched the Starfield trailer, you need to. It's absolutely incredible. Watch it in 4K. Um, that's actually it's not even 2022 yet, and that's on my anticipated games list, and it could be my favorite depending on how it is. Um, just real quick here with EA, we talked about Fallen Order 2. Joey, do they? This is a dark horse prediction. Do they tease Battlefront 3 as a hybrid between Battlefront and Squadrons, or do you think they're just going to save that for maybe E3 next year?
The earliest you'll see Battlefront is going to be Celebration of next year. I
Oh,
would think
Celebration,
even
yeah.
2023 is a possibility. They have not started working on it for the most part.
All right. What are some predictions that you guys have? Joey, I know you have sources that have told you some things, but what are some predictions that the panel has here about what we could see announced Star Wars gaming wise?
I mean, I'll be blatantly honest. I think you're only going to get Lego Star Wars. I
Not
think
even
there.
Hunters.
So I can tell you that. Oh, Hunters! I forgot about Hunters. That game just kind of fell apart. I'd never even heard of that thing ever. When was it revealed? It was like a Nintendo Direct or something, right?
Nintendo Direct of like March this year.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah.
Hunters. It was supposed to release fall of this year, I think,
Mhm.
originally. But as far as Fallen Order goes, I think if you see anything, it's a CGI trailer. I
Mhm.
was told in March they were cutting one and it was being considered for the Xbox showcase. It never ended up making it in. So there's a couple reasons that could be. Like you look at the Halo trailer that was shown last year, it had a lot of negative feedback. Maybe EA wants to let it cook a little bit longer before they show it. On the other side, gameplay is not ready, in my opinion.
No.
I've seen little clips of it here and there, but I don't think it's ready to be shown. So I think if you see anything, it'll be CGI. Knowing EA, like John said, I don't think it makes it in, but there is always that possibility. It just feels like around this time of the year, they're pushing their sports games more than anything.
Don't even get me started on that. Um, so and one last one here. Even though we didn't get it at E3 this year with Ubisoft, we do know that their massive studio is working on a Star Wars open world game. What are the possibilities of us getting this thing teased at Gamescom, or is it still way too early in development?
Too early.
Yeah,
If
I
they
think
haven't
0%.
teased
Yeah.
the Riot
Yeah.
one, they won't tease this one.
Yeah.
I think it's
Alright.
still being written, actually, Eric, to be honest. I don't even know if they've
Mm.
started really development part of it.
Just don't make it like The Division and we'll be good. So anyway.
EA has Star Wars stuff that came out this. Was it this year for Sims?
Well, yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
could tease more Sim stuff. That's
Yeah, they
another
do
thing.
have those Batu stuff that
Which
that is coming out, but
It was such a
VR.
bad expansion.
Yeah.
I love The Sims, and I did not. That was some straight money grab of an expansion.
well, I know.
Oh, that and well, I meant the VR experiences.
Oh,
that
that's
were,
right.
like,
Oh,
Oh,
that's right.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. My
yeah.
apologies.
So I'd
The
expect to
Tales
see
from
some more of
Galaxy's
that.
Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope because we talked about this last week. Katrina, you, John, and I talked about this last week with HoloNet Marauders. I'm still holding out hope that Vader Immortal and Tales from Galaxy's Edge actually do make it to Xbox and PlayStation in non-VR form, because I think that you really do need to. I think us as Star Wars fans, we need to experience this tale, and I'd rather experience it for $300 on my Xbox than to pay for what John said, upwards of $2,000 for the gaming computer and then the Oculus VR headset, when half that money is going to now finally go to John's favorite new hotel at Disney that hasn't opened yet, the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Won't even get you 30 minutes inside the door with that much money.
Nope.
You're gonna need a little bit more, Eric. You're
Yeah.
gonna need a little bit more.
Exactly. So, I mean, are there chances that they could expand that to these consoles, or are we just taking a shot in the dark here, and am I just rambling at this point?
I think it's wishful thinking,
Yeah.
and I think Star Wars fans should demand, in a nice, positive way, that it's a non-VR version be made. But at the same time, we also have to remember what all are Star Wars fans demanding video game wise. We just had, 18 months of just everything being delayed, and rightfully so. Like, I don't think anyone should be blamed for those delays, but that's putting all these studios behind by 18 months, if not more. So, I think, while yes, I hate the fact that it's being gate kept behind VR, I think it's also maybe not as important as getting some of these other titles out. Like, if we're going to sit here and talk about Fallen Order 2, which I think we rightfully should, I think talking about a non-VR version of those games, and demanding those at the same time is, I think that just puts unnecessary pressure on all the developers. Like we need to get things back to normal first, whatever normal is going forward. And then once they can get back on a schedule, then I think they can do small side projects like taking that VR game, making it for a console, standard computer games, and then putting it out. It's wishful thinking, but I don't think it's in the works right now.
Because the game's already out. They just need to put it in like a computer or something.
It's
Just
gotta be ported,
un-VR it,
Yeah.
basically. It shouldn't take that long, in theory,
Well,
to just make it a normal game.
In theory.
In theory.
Yeah.
Just 5 years and for $6,000.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, like, there is a lot of games in development, Star Wars related, that have not been announced yet. Like, Xbox has 2 licenses. Neither one of the games has been announced yet. There's a couple other projects here and there from some other developers. So I would say, I don't know a clear number 100%, but I think there's 5 to 7 different games for Star Wars related right now that are in development, and only a few of those have been announced so far.
Watch
So there's a lot
like
coming.
One's like a love sim visual novel.
I don't know about that one, Ellie.
I would actually play that one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to
Well,
Batu.
We'll go ahead and
Meet,
pass that one up
lovely-
the chain.
Yeah. We'll pass it up the
Ellie
chain.
will be the writer for it.
Yeah. Hey, Ellie's
Had
come
some
up
birds
with some
in there.
amazing ideas tonight, so I'm just saying.
Data Wookiee Live.
Dude,
Oh my god, yes! You could get the people that
Wookiee
made
Boyfriend
Hopsicle Boyfriend
Simulator.
and the Tank one. There's like a love sim about like you dating a bird.
Actually,
Yes,
But, like,
I
they drew the
remember
bird.
her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's like a
Wow,
bird,
we're
and then
going
they have
full
a normal
ooh
one.
senpai Star Wars now.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
no.
Notice
fine.
me,
I'm here for the
senpai.
Star Wars dating sim. We need a
Yes.
Star Wars dating sim. We got real close to it in
Yes.
the Old Republic, and I really like
Yeah.
those romance
Yeah, we
routes.
did.
But like, I want to, as someone who works at a company that makes dating sims, I want a Star Wars dating sim.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we did
What a
get the
good
Colonel
story.
Sanders one, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
anything.
my
Oh my god, I
God.
love it. Oh, they
Love
even
it.
made a Lifetime original movie. That's like
I remember
30
it,
minutes.
AC
It has the
Slater.
guy from
AC
Save
Slater,
from the
yeah,
Bell.
yeah,
Yeah, no, Saved by the Bell guy. What's his name?
yeah. His name in
Mario
Saved by the Bell
Lopez.
was AC
Yeah,
Slater.
him.
Yeah, just
I'm
give the
pointing down
people
at
what
you
they
because you're
want.
down. Yeah,
Real
Lopez was in it.
real quick though, because I was kind of watching chat while we were doing this conversation,
Oh,
especially
sorry.
about the Lego Star Wars thing. No, you guys are fine. Don't apologize. Um, my brother-in-law Zach says, going back to the DLC stuff for Skywalker Saga. But wait, if you spend $2.95, you can buy loot boxes for a diamond skin, um, for one of your characters, for
Make it Star Wars
R2D2. Yeah,
skins.
for R2D2.
Think
So
about it. If you're like playing Apex, you can get like Star Wars skins in it. Come on.
visual
Mhm.
novel. All right. So let's move on to our main event here. Sorry, we've been at this for an hour and a half, so but it's been fun.
They're enjoying
Yeah,
it.
we're all having a good time. We're enjoying it. I think that this is the most that we've joked on the show in a while.
I'm
So if you all
sorry.
want to, no. If you all just want to come back next week, go right ahead. We'll talk about Life Day all day. Um, so let's
I'll bring a drawing mock of the Ewoks.
Yes.
just
Elliot,
bring
I'm-
your
Yes.
storyboards, Ellie.
Yes, I'm gonna need a full storyboard mapping out the first 3
Yeah,
episodes, and you
yeah,
can
Stay
pitch it
tuned
right
to
here.
the next episode where we
Yes.
fully reenact Good Night but Not Goodbye.
Yeah.
And we'll all be the voice actors. We'll all pick a character,
I'll
and we'll just
I'll
voice
just
act
do
it
Wookiee
live.
voices all night.
Yes.
Anyway,
No.
so let's move on to Star Wars Visions here, which this thing is going to, I mean, we got the trailer this week. There was the Japanese trailer and then there was the English dub trailer. We're not going to show the trailer because if I do show it, we might get a copyright thing. So we should just talk about this. Um, this trailer was absolutely incredible, and it showcased everything that it needed to showcase without really revealing too much of what each story was about. I mean, I don't know where to start other than this.
Beginning.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that black and white animation similar to an Akira Kurosawa movie just was I mean, it was breathtaking. I think the
Yeah.
duel may go down as like one of the best pieces in Star Wars animation. Um, just from like the 2 clips that we, or like the 3 or 4 clips that we got from it. That's also where the internet, where we're introduced to what the internet is now affectionately calling Darth Mary Poppins,
The lightsaber
because of the lightsaber umbrella. We are also, yes.
Can't wait.
We
Love
are
her.
also introduced. So let's actually just go down what the names of these episodes are going to be. Then we're actually going to get into the voice cast here in a minute. So we have the duel. We have Tatooine Rhapsody, which just sounds absolutely amazing. We have the twins, the Village Bride, the Ninth Jedi, T0B1, the Elder, Lop and Ocho, and Akakiri, yeah, Akakiri. Um, so Ellie, you are kind of my resident anime expert here.
Anime weeb.
Yeah, Katrina, do you watch a lot of anime?
I grew up watching a lot of anime. I
Mhm.
currently basically only watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I am really, yeah, we're gonna have to talk sometime.
Yeah.
Ellie.
No. Funny you mentioned JoJo. Actually,
Yeah,
Go
take
ahead.
it away, please.
the duel is actually the studio that's working on the duel worked on JoJo's opening.
Oh,
First-
nice.
Ooh.
The first season and the second season and Stardust
Love it.
Crusaders. I don't know. for
Oh,
anyone
nice.
who knows.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. I'm really excited. I'm excited about the fact that Japanese storytellers are getting to play in Star
Yes.
Wars because that, so much of Star Wars has been like, you know, going from Japanese culture and cinema, and it just feels right to have these storytellers part of this universe. And I've really enjoyed all the Star Wars mangas so far. I love the Lost Stars adaptation. I love the Leia adaptation. Really, I love what I see of the Rebels one that happened and came out in German only.
Oh.
So
You don't
hopefully
know
I can
German?
read that. Oh gosh, sorry. Yeah, you know. But yeah, I'm so excited to see like Star Wars come to in a way like its true intended roots. And I think that this is just going to be it's something that I cherish a lot as a fan, to see Star Wars from other viewpoints, but also I just love the idea that it doesn't exist in canon. It's just that crack in the glass, you know,
Yeah.
for our fandom, which is like, you know, a great fandom, but like a lot of people are real sticklers about like canon and like what's fact, what's not. Can it go on a Wikipedia page or not? You know, like I I love just, you know, it's not a huge break from canon. Obviously, it's within the rules. We're talking about Disney
Yeah.
and our capitalist society, but like it's
Yeah.
cool to see this, like, you know, Star Wars is the paintbrush, but they have their own canvases and they're telling their own stories without the rules, you know.
Yeah, it goes back to what once again you and John and myself and HoloNet Marauders discussed last week with these manga, you know, especially with the High Republic manga coming out and then these manga adaptations. Um, which I was actually able to pick up the Edge of Balance Free Comic Book Day special, and I got to tell you that artwork is just absolutely beautiful, and that manga is just going to be something else. Um,
Mhm.
John, you were talking last week how this is an amazing opportunity, especially for non-Star Wars fans that are into anime to get into Star Wars. And Ellie, I see you nodding your head there, kind of like agreeing as it is like a gateway to that. Um, you know, I just want to open up the floor here, like I kind of have been tonight about this thing. And John, if you want to just talk about that again, like you did last week, because if somebody did miss the show last week, you know, we can talk about this. So go ahead, John, and then we'll open up the floor to whoever, and then we're gonna get into our voice cast here and talk about that and kind of like not really predict things, but you know, just kind of like go
Ooh.
over. I mean, we can. It's fine. To quote Force Center, speculate responsibly. But go ahead, John.
Yeah, so I mean, the point is really is a two-way street here. Is, you know, if you're an anime and manga fan that may not be into, you know, maybe more mainstream pop culture references or universes like a Star Wars, this is a great opportunity to still stay within your comfort zone that you know, which is, you know, an anime or a manga, and you can sit and be like, you know what, you know, I'm used to the art style, I'm used to the storytelling. Maybe let me see what my friends that love Star Wars, let me see if I can understand what they see in this through something I'm comfortable with in anime and manga. And it's such a great opportunity because, you know, well, from what we saw from the trailer, it looks like 100% an anime you would watch on Crunchyroll, on Funimation, you know, anywhere else. Like it, so, if you're an anime fan and you don't really dabble outside of that realm, this might be something you might want to check out, especially if you like an anime that is more action based, a little more sci-fi. This could definitely be right up your alley. Same thing on the other side. If you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't really dabbled with anime or manga, and you're like, you know, I don't understand why my friend is all uwu senpai and everything. The you know, it's like, I still understand what that world's about, but
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars content. I'm going to give this a shot.
Yeah.
That's going to introduce people to some amazing artwork and storytelling that can be found in anime and manga. And I think it's just such a great opportunity to really bridge these two coexisting universes of nerdom, geekdom together in a beautiful lightsaber filled marriage. I think it's such a great opportunity.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry, Ellie.
Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I just going off of that as well, and kind of what Katrina said earlier. So it's outside of the canon, which is huge
Yeah.
because one of the other things they've kind of confirmed here, at least based on what we've seen so far and what we've heard, is only one of these is using existing characters as well. So there's a lot of room for new characters to be introduced. A lot of new locations could possibly come in as well. Because I think it's only Tatooine Rhapsody using people that are currently in the canon.
Yeah, that one's gonna have Boba Fett. That's the only one that actually
And
has.
Jabba the Hutt, I think, as well.
Boba.
Yes, and I think Bib Fortuna might be in there as well. Dawana Wanga himself. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. And to go back to what I said, this is kind of like a what if type thing for Star Wars, where you can play in whatever section of this universe that you want to, and really just explore it. Joey, I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead.
Oh no, that was it. That was the main idea there.
Yeah, Ellie, I know you're ready. You're ready. So lay it on me, girl.
All right, let's go, everybody. So we were introduced to a bunny girl. A bunny girl.
That's
And
force
I know-
sensitive.
What?
She's
I
force
assume-
sensitive.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine. I know they since this isn't canon per se, I know they introduced another bunny character in one of the comics a long time ago.
Jackson, Kevin Scott's favorite character to write, apparently. Yeah, Katrina
We
knows
love
what I'm talking about.
Jackson.
Yeah,
We
we
support
love Jackson.
Jackson.
Yep, he got his
Uh,
own Black Series figure.
Really?
The leppy, that's the
Yeah.
species he is. The leppy.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that might be the Lop and Ultra episode
Mhm.
because of Loppy. But like when I was looking into it, I'm gonna sound like a nerd. I'm sorry.
We're all
It's made
nerds.
by like Geno
Hello.
Studio. Hi, I'm in the anime realms, weeb, with the terrible
It's
realm.
fine.
I'm
It's fine.
sorry.
You're in both
Will
realms right now.
realm?
It's fine. Ew,
Okay.
ew.
It will. Okay. So like they're made by Geno Studio, which is kind of ish a new studio. And I was like freaking out that like Studio Trigger didn't make it because they created an anime that's called BNA.
Mhm.
That's basically animals.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are they not working on it? What? Angry, you know? Like, but not angry.
I'm
Okay.
glad
So-
you brought up that bunny girl because she kind of reminds me, and this is like some old school anime knowledge that you might know, Ellie, but in Tenchi Muyo, when Ryo Oki turns into like the little girl version
Yeah.
of herself, the rabbit, I was like, oh my god, she looks just like Ryo Oki, and like I got so excited because it was like, oh, I watched that show when I was 12. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for that story and Tatooine Rhapsody
Another
too.
real far. Yeah.
Like, I know you talked about that, and that kind of made me laugh because I know there's another studio. I know all the studios. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
that's
how I
why I wanted to
recognize-
have you on.
Like I recognized them all
Yeah.
as it went on. So like one of them is for the Ninth Jedi.
Mhm.
I guess that's gonna be like their 9th episode probably because they're only doing 9. And like
Let me see here. Yeah, they're only doing
It
9
should be
episodes,
number
yeah.
9. Yeah.
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 And then like that's a great way to end it
Mhm.
because it's gonna be production IG.
Oh,
And
nice.
they're the ones that worked on Clone Wars, the English version.
Mhm.
They did the Grievous episode. They only worked on one. And then they're doing Haiku, which is one of the most popular animes right now. It's the volleyball one
Okay.
for y'all boomers out there.
Shoot, thanks for making me feel old.
Wait. They also did Kill Bill
Oh yeah, because there were some anime parts
with the
of Kill
Lucy
Bill
Liu
because of-
part.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Lucy Liu, actually, let's get into this voice cast right now.
Is she in it?
So the duel, which is the first thing that's listed here for the voice cast, we have Brian T as Ronan, Lucy Liu as the bandit leader, and Jaden Waldman as the village chief. Now Brian T, I believe, is currently on the show Chicago Med as a doctor, and I think he was also Shredder in the Bay reboot of Turtles. I think I'm
I
not.
think he likes pizza.
You think he likes pizza? No, he wanted turtle stew. Oh wait,
okay.
you know what? I have access to the internet. I can look up his IMDb
Yeah,
right now.
the internet? What's that?
What's the internet?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Let's see here.
I'll be cranky if Lucy Liu does not chop somebody's head off.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
like
yes.
is it confirmed like who the bandit is? Like is it Umbrella Saber?
Mary Poppins?
Darth Poppins.
Is it Darth Poppins?
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
so cool.
Okay.
Just like start off the show with like Darth Poppins,
Yeah, that'd be a strong way to kick it off.
right?
So, jeez.
She floats down from the Death Star. Just
Yes.
Now
then
you're
the
only
bank-
thinking of the penguin.
The
If
Banks
the
children are
visitors
there.
could have their
Isn't it like-
helicopter umbrellas,
Yeah.
then Mary Poppins can have her umbrella herself.
The Banks
Can it
children
shoot
are her
like the
Sith
penguin?
Inquisitors.
Like, you know, like the penguin one when he just goes pew 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 pew.
Bert's
You can have a
actually,
blaster saber.
Bert's like standing right by her side, just like with that stupid British accent. I mean, I love Mary Poppins. I love that movie so much, but still.
Bert's a wife guy, man. Like
Yeah.
if we want to go into Mary Poppins, that's my Mary Poppins hot take is that Bert is a white guy or a wife guy.
Nice.
Wife guy.
So
Very,
Brian
very-
T, yes, he's on Chicago Med. He did Star Wars Visions with Ronan. He has done Lucifer. He was in one of the episodes of that. He was Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows, so I was right. He was in Jurassic World, which
Oh.
yeah, I think he played
Dinosaur
one
doctors.
of the I think he played one of the InGen guys, or no, I think he might have been one of the asset containment guys. He was in Agents of Shield. He was in a couple of episodes of Hawaii Five-O. He was in Mortal Kombat Legacy, the TV series short. He played Liu Kang. He was in Burn Notice. I mean, so the guy has had a pretty extensive career when it comes to acting. So just seeing him in this is really good. Lucy Liu as the bandit leader, I think will be fun. Hopefully that is Darth Mary Poppins. And then Jaden Waldman as our village chief. So then we have Tatooine Rhapsody, which this is the one that I'm really looking forward to because I think that this is, out of all of them, this one's probably going to be the funniest one out of
They're
them
pod
all.
racing.
So they are going to be at Mos Espa Arena. I believe that this might be on Boonta Eve, so this could be the pre-show to the pod racing.
Mhm.
I love pod racing.
Yes, Weasel, he was in Bushido Blade. Yes, so if I can see anime pod racing, I'll be happy. So for Tatooine Rhapsody, we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt in
Huge.
there as Jay. That's huge. Bobby Moynihan as a
Love it.
character named Geezer.
Baby.
Geezer. Is he gonna be
Yes.
an
Love
old
Bobby.
man?
He's
I-
so good.
I don't know.
What if it's a young man called Geezer?
That's what I'm thinking.
Love it.
We
Let's
have
hope.
we have Shelby Young as K344. Mark Thompson, who does a lot of the Star Wars audiobooks, is going to be playing a character named Lan. And we are getting Tamora Morrison back as Boba Fett for Tatooine Rhapsody. Yes, Kitty, I see you. So
Can
then
we see Cap?
Darth Kitty.
Yeah, you want to see
Kitty
Darth
of
Kitty?
bribes.
You want to see Darth Kitty here? I'll show you Darth Kitty real quick.
Aww.
Hold on. I know your heart's racing. Here she is.
Hey.
Oh, look at the little fluff ball.
And
Get her
then she's
Ewok
got
costume.
thumbs. Oh, she hates costumes.
So she
Does
can
that mean you've
celebrate
tried
the
that
day of
before,
life.
Eric?
Oh, my wife has, and she just ends up just flopping on the floor and looking up at me like she gave up on life.
It's like you did this to me.
Yeah, pretty much. She just gives me this face like, Dad, are you gonna get me out of this? Mom put me in this thing again. Yeah. So I heard Jar Jar Binks will make an appearance. If Jar Jar makes an appearance in Tatooine Rhapsody, I think I'd be a happy camper because of just how funny that short's gonna be.
I love him.
So we got that.
Wait, so is it confirmed that he's gonna be in that one, or is it just gonna be or is it just a rumor that he's in like?
What Jar
He's
Jar?
in all of them.
Yeah.
It's just what one guy in chat
Oh,
is
okay,
saying.
all right.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, hold on a second.
I mean, if
He's a
Ahmad
Jar
Best
Jar's
did
here.
come back,
Yeah, the implication of Jar Jar may lead to a Naboo. So that's
Yes.
what I woke up. My brain was like, what? There we go.
What
But-
if Jar Jar's in all of them, but
He
it's
could be.
not Jar Jar?
What if he
It's
is
his
our
cousin.
unreliable narrator for the universe of Star
So-
Wars?
Yes, imagine.
So these are went to Mos Espa.
Please give Ahmed Best more money.
Yes. So we have Tatooine Rhapsody, which Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bobby Moynihan. That's huge,
Massive
especially
cast.
with Tamora Morrison there. Then we move on to the twins, which this one feels more like Studio Ghibli inspired here. We have Allison Brie from Community. She's going to be playing Am. We have Jonathan Lapau, B20N, who is their droid. And then we get Neil Patrick Harris as Kare or Carrie or however you pronounce his name.
They do magic.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. Off topic.
we're gonna get the Barney Stinson version of Neil Patrick Harris in this.
Isn't that the
I
only
mean, do you feel
character
like
he
this is set up
plays?
for a comedy right here? Like between Allison
think
Brie and
so.
Neil Patrick Harris, I feel like this has to be more of a
It
comedic
kind of
take.
feels like it.
Yeah,
It kind of does.
I feel between this and Tatooine Rhapsody, this is where you're gonna get your palate cleansers for the show. Don't want to say like all of the show is going to be heavy, but I think like
Yeah.
this is going to be like the point where you get the funnier episodes. Then we have the Village Bride. We get Karen Fukuhara as F, Nicole Sakura as Haru, Christopher Sean, who was in Star Wars Resistance as Kazona Yodo, or Kaz, is Asu. Carrie Hiroyuki Tagawa as Valko, Andrew Kishino as Izumo, as Azuma, and Stephanie Shea as Saku. I don't really know much about this one. Ellie, you might have picked up on like what studio did this.
Which one's that one?
The Village Bride.
Village Bride.
I wrote it down.
You wrote it down?
Kinema Citrus. They did Eureka 2.
Okay.
Did like the Eureka 7 movie.
Okay.
And the most like newest thing they've done is Rise of Shield Hero.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
they
okay.
did God Hacksign, the original like Isekai, which is
Okay.
basically you get reincarnated into a video game world or into anything.
So is this studio like known for like kind of doing like
Super action. Like
super action?
they do a lot of action and serious kind of things.
Okay, so we're
So
gonna
this might
expect
be a
a
serious
more
one.
serious story for this one.
And a
Okay.
lot of fighting.
Yeah. I'm sure. I want to get to the Ninth Jedi last, actually, or the Ninth Jedi. Actually, we'll get to the Ninth Jedi now. Ninth Jedi, we have Kamiko Glenn as Kara. Andrew Kishino is back as Juro. We have Simu Liu as Shima. Masi Oka from Heroes as Ethan. Greg Chun as Rodin. Neil Kaplan as our narrator, and Michael Sinter Nicholas as Henjin. The Ninth Jedi, this one looks like it's going to be kind of more of like an action-packed one too.
It's gonna be a serious action one.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
between all those actors, like not just the ones that are well known, but like Mike Sinner Nicholas, like there's a lot. Like Ellie, you probably know a lot of this talent because they're all anime hard hitters. So
Mhm.
I'm expecting a lot from this episode.
And if I'm butchering these names, I apologize.
You're doing a great job, Eric.
You're doing good job. Don't worry.
Valiant effort.
but to
You're
see,
trying.
like,
That's what matters.
Yeah, but to see like Simu Liu in this, like right after Shang-Chi is huge too, because you already know like Shang-Chi's going to make this guy a star, and like this is just going to put him over, I think,
Yeah.
especially for Star Wars fans.
Yeah. His TV dad has already been in Star Wars. Naturally.
Oh,
will
that's right.
follow.
He was in Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
and so
wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was the son in Kim's Convenience.
That's
and
why
so-
his face looks so familiar. Is he gonna be
Yeah.
shirtless? Oh wait, he is.
In Shang-Chi, he's going to be.
And Shang-Chi, he is shirtless, yeah.
Or Shang-Chi.
Uh.
So then we have T0B1. That's going to be Jaden Waldman as T0B1. And we get Kyle Chandler in this one as Mitaka, which Kyle Chandler, that's actually a really interesting choice for somebody doing a kind of this type of show. I love Kyle Chandler. I think he was amazing in Friday Night Lights. He was especially awesome in Bloodline on Netflix, if you have never watched that. And he has a lot of fun in the Godzilla movies. So this one looks like it's just going to be about a droid and this guy that picks up the droid. So do you think that this one could be like another lighthearted one
Is
before we get to like more serious stuff?
It is because the people that make this one, they made yokai. Yokai is basically
Okay.
like Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's literally almost the same, except
Nice.
it's more serious, but it's cute.
Okay.
And they did Shin Chan. If y'all are old enough to know what Shin Chan is,
All right. That's cool.
These old jokes all over the place, Ellie. Come
yeah,
on.
I know. I feel like I'm being discriminated against. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Ellie. Um, then we have The Elder with David Harbour as Tajin, Jordan Fisher as Dan, and James Hong as the Elder. This is another like big one because Jordan Fisher does a lot of Disney stuff. He did, I mean, come on, he sings a song for a nighttime show at Magic Kingdom. But now that's going away. He's doing The Flash. I believe he's going to be Bart Allen from the future in The Flash this season. But to see David Harbour like doing something that isn't Marvel or Stranger Things, I think that's a huge get too. And who does this one, Ellie? The Elder.
Studio Trigger.
Studio Trigger. So this is
Oh,
going to be
sorry.
like another. This is
It's a
going to.
serious one.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing is that this studio is well known for it's basically the color palette they choose is how they portray the story more. So you know how in traditional cartoons or in anime you see the hard black line outline?
Yeah.
They typically go with blue, red. They use different colors and it's more of like a vaporwave kind of feel. It's really nice. They made this movie that I really love. It's called Promare. It's about giant robots and firefighters.
What other shows do they do, Ellie? Just
Kill
if
la
you know
Kill.
any off the top of your head.
Kill la Kill?
Okay.
The
The
Yeah,
one with
okay.
that little teenage
Yep.
girl that's, yeah, really cool. Not wearing almost anything.
Well, most anime is that way.
Little Witch Academia.
It's called
like-
called fan service.
Yeah, it's called.
They
fan
They
service.
made wait, did I miss the part where they're the ones who made whoop, now my brain forgot it. Bye guys. The one with the blue haired guy, and he's like, "Oh my god, my drill! I believe in you, little small noodle man." What's his? What weren't they also? Yeah, forget it.
Kill la
I
Kill
give up.
still, I think.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's
No.
not. No, it's
The
not.
other one. The one with
Yes,
the
they made
drill.
that
The
one.
with the
They
drill.
made that.
The
He
one
has
with
the triangle glasses, like the really pointy glasses.
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all lost me a blue noodle guy.
Yeah.
What
And
is
he's like
Noodle guy
shirtless.
drill.
Yes, the one with the drill. Please, chat,
Yes.
help me. Tell me the anime with the drill. The anime
I'm
with
gonna
the drill.
Google it.
It's got a character redhead
I'm
named
afraid to
Yoko, I
Google
think her
that.
name is.
Like, what's
Yeah,
gonna
not
pop
bad.
up if you Google anime with a drill?
Gurren
Don't do
Langan?
Gurren Lagann!
Yes.
Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Joe is
God,
the
see?
hero.
Yes.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
looked it up, but I have no idea what that is.
Gurren
All my
Lagann.
anime
Yes.
knowledge like caps in 2007 because that's when
Yeah.
I like graduated from high school.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen, but yes. Same studio. Same studio.
Okay, cool,
Yes,
cool.
yeah, that was like their first big hit was Gurren Lagann. So
Huh.
now they're doing Star Wars, which is
I mean,
super
this
Crazy.
is
wild.
huge.
Mhm.
So then we have Lop and Ocho, which I know Ellie's
I'm
really
excited.
looking forward to this one.
Bunny girl, bunny girl, bunny
We
girl,
have,
bunny
uh,
girl.
Lop the Lucky.
We have Anna Cathcart as Lop, Hiromi Dames as Ocho, Paul Nakauchi as Yasaburo, and Kyle McCarley as Imperial Officer.
Very specific.
Yeah, I love how specific they were with that one. Um, So Ellie, what studio does
We're in
this
the
one?
Lapinocho?
Yes.
Geno Studio.
Okay, so this one's kind of like more Studio Ghibli like type as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
It
Uh,
is. It's gonna be like whimsical, serious,
okay.
like in the middle. Like the weird thing about this studio, it's like it's not there's a lot of drama. It's like not one studio. It's owned by Twin Engine, and they
Oh.
had a spat, and then one of the owners is still owners of Twin Engine, but he created his own studio, and then he tutored other people, and they created their own studios, but they're still owned by Twin Engine.
Okay.
It's hard to track.
Yeah.
It's an anime within it.
Drama in the anime world.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk?
It's all
And
fan
Oh,
service.
there's plenty.
yeah. And then we have
Plenty.
then we have Akakiri here, which is going to have our new Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe Origins, Henry Golding as Sabaki, Jamie Chung as Misa, George Takei making his Star Wars return as Senshu, Keone Young as Kamahache, and Lorraine Toussaint as Masago. This one looks like this is the one where they are like kind of like doing the Power Rangers thing with their lightsabers in a way, where it feels like
Mhm.
their lightsabers are more like mechs at this point in the
I'm
trailer.
excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really, again, it goes back to Star Wars having so many roots in Japanese storytelling, but on the flip side of that, anime, a lot of major anime shows pull inspiration from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Tenchi Muyo, which I brought up earlier, but if you think about it, Gundam, Gundam was heavily influenced by Star Wars. A lot of the principles you see in many of the Gundam shows are very much like Star Wars. I mean, even the shape of like some of the bad guys' helmets, like Char's helmet is shaped like Vader's helmet. So to see that and like elements from like the Macross series, which I grew up with and loved, so I love every
Robotech.
Macross, Robotech, Macross, everything. I loved seeing that in Resistance, and I'm excited to see that in this show.
Nice. Um, so let's open it up here. I know a lot of us are looking forward to the duel with Darth Mary Poppins. Um,
You better shoot.
I can't wait.
I can't wait
Lightsaber.
either. Um, the one that I'm really looking forward to is because we got Neil Patrick Harris doing some narration in a certain point of view, which was the audiobook.
Mhm.
I think that this is going to be an interesting take for him because he is like one of the biggest celebrity Star Wars nerds out there. I mean, come on, him and his family have dressed up as Star Wars characters for Halloween and stuff like that. Barney Stinson had a friggin' stormtrooper armor in his apartment, and then it turned to clone trooper armor later on in the show How I Met Your Mother. Out of all of the celebrities in this, which one, I mean, they all stand out, but like which one actually like really stands out to you for this? And like which one are you looking forward to out of this? Anybody?
Honestly, I think the one that's going to draw a lot of people just because he's been so current with a lot of the popular TV shows and movies out there right now is going to be David Harbour. I mean, coming out of his appearance from Red Guardian with Black Widow, which he did a fan freaking tastic job at. I thought it was amazing.
He was hilarious.
Everything he's done in Stranger Things has been award. I mean, the man deserves every award he can possibly get. He's an absolutely fantastic actor. That name alone I feel like, will pull a good chunk of people to this. Neil Patrick Harris would have to be the other one.
Yeah.
He's just so relevant when it comes to just being still current in Hollywood, being involved, in the civil rights movements with a lot of groups in the U.S. here. He's just so current and relevant to multiple generations that name alone also will pull a ton of people in too. So I feel like those, if I had to limit it to two, those are going to be your two big ones.
Yeah, I see David Harbour. I think George Takei is another one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after his stint in Clone Wars, doing various voices there.
I mean, that and the cast he's lined up with
Yeah.
that episode, like Jamie Chung, like these are all like power hitters within Disney, but they're
Mhm.
also like very well-known actors who are like super
Yeah.
popular right now. So
Especially
they're
Henry
good.
Golding, especially after Snake Eyes.
Gold, I
Yeah.
I
love.
just
Oh.
realized David Harbour was Hellboy, and I feel really dumb.
Yeah, we don't talk about that Hellboy movie. Um, but then again, David Harbour was also in the Newsroom, and if you have never watched the Newsroom, he's fantastic on that show as well.
He's really good there too.
He was in
Yeah.
Suicide. Forget about that.
David Harbour was in Suicide Squad. He was the national security advisor.
Mhm.
Who else? Go. Let's do it, and we'll wrap
I
things
mean,
up here soon.
I'm more of a sub than a dub guy, if I'm being honest
Okay.
here. So I'm excited about voice actors. I think Neil Patrick Harris will be great.
Mhm.
At the same point, like from the sub perspective, I'm kind of looking more at the animation. Like, what am I going to click with more? I like the twins.
Yeah.
You can argue English voice actors are going to be really cool for that. I like the idea of kind of like a intense combat mixed with that comedy potential as well. So
Mhm.
I think that'll be a fun one to check out. The Ninth Jedi, like Ellie was saying earlier, I think the studio behind it is really good. So I
Mhm.
think it's going to be fun to see how they adapt into the Star Wars universe. And I think The Elder is another one that sticks out to me. It kind of has like a darker tone to it,
Mhm.
at least based on what I've like read and seen so far. So I think those three kind of hit different perspectives overall.
Now,
Did-
Joey, I want to ask you real quick, if I may just hop in real quick.
Of course.
You said you're a sub, not a dub guy, and I'm right there with you. Is this series something that you're going to want to watch both subbed and dubbed just because of some of the big names that are going to be in there for the dub side? Because
That's a good question.
for me right now, going down this list, I'm going to watch it subbed first because that's just how I normally watch anime. But I fully plan on going back and watching the dubbed version right after.
Yeah.
It really, really depends on me. Like for
Mm.
some of these, the actors and actresses draw me in more. But for me, it comes down to the lips. If the lips
Yeah.
don't line up the right way, I just can't do it. It tilts me too much.
Yeah.
I wonder too, since like and like you can probably speak to this too, but there is a huge difference when anime is made for like a worldwide or Western audience,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, so they're getting kind of dubbed at the same time and everything like that. So I'm wondering what that's going to be like. But I have a feeling like I am notorious for watching episodes of Star Wars shows twice. So it's just going to be the practice where it's like, okay, I'm going to watch it subbed and then I'm going to watch it dubbed so that I can get the experience and also notice all the details that I didn't notice when I was watching it subbed.
Yeah.
Well, and with that mindset too, Katrina, I wonder if this is set more for the Western audience to begin with. Like maybe the lines and the lips and everything are going to line up to these big name actors and actresses on the English side as opposed to the Japanese side.
I don't know. Oh,
I'll
go
let
on,
you
Ellie.
go first. No, you go
No,
first.
my question for you, actually turning this to you, Ellie, would be, you probably know a lot about this, a lot more about this than me, but like there are a lot of like simultaneous releases for anime these days. So do you think that's part of the process?
Yes and no.
Mm.
Like, I think they're like originally I think they're gonna try to make it in English. Like some of the episodes are definitely gonna be in English and some of them are definitely gonna be in Japanese. And they'll try to get the like somewhat of a similar actor to do the English part. But if you're thinking more of Western anime, you would have to think of something like Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Korra, if we're gonna get something like that, like story-wise to some extent. And like voice acting
Well,
also.
what about something like My Hero Academia? Because it seems like that is geared more
That's
towards a
Japanese.
Western audience, though.
Is it?
I mean, I definitely get an X-Men Avengers feel to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what Ellie, like to Ellie's
Yeah,
point, it's like
sorry.
are these studios are Japanese and
Yeah.
they're making it over there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think that like she's got a point.
Yeah.
Like My Hero Academia is like inspired kind of by like Marvel, DC, like
Yeah.
those big superheroes, and they just adapted it
Yeah.
towards their version of superheroes because they technically had the original Power Rangers over there.
Yeah,
Think
Common
about
Rider.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then or they might just go ahead and just do English, honestly, because Star Wars is more popular in the US than
Well,
anywhere else in theory. And
yeah.
it is for a Western audience.
Now, is this similar to like a Studio Ghibli thing where they do get like a bigger all-star cast for the Western release like they normally do?
They get big, like they have big stars for the Japanese and the English and the other languages as well.
Okay.
They get like big names.
Yeah.
Like my gears are like
No, it's
spinning right
fine.
now. I'm thinking
It's fine. I'm glad that we're actually having this conversation
because
about
that's
this.
making me think. Well, like they dub it in the other languages as well,
Mhm.
or will they just strictly keep it English and Japanese? Like, will we have a Spanish dub, a Korean, a
Or
German?
or just
I
keep
mean,
it in
English
the
and Japanese, I think, are both confirmed. I don't know if they've
Yeah.
confirmed anything else yet.
It depends on markets for Disney Plus as well, because
Mm,
there's certain markets where they're definitely going to get stuff later than we're going to get here in the States and maybe even
mhm,
Europe as well. Um,
Well,
I
I mean, I do know that the localization on like Mando and the other
mhm,
shows is like simul release, at least in the
mm.
credits. So
yeah. I mean, I could see
Then
them keeping the original English and the original Japanese and just doing like a Spanish like subtitle for it or like a French subtitle for it and just
mm,
keeping it the way that it is.
I think they'll just English Japanese and just do subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah. Any
Okay,
Go
just
ahead.
figured it out. So it's Japanese is going to be what it's based off of, and then it will be dubbed in English.
Yeah,
So the
or
Japanese
if
voice
it's
cast is what the
original.
animation's based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if some of the episodes sounds like they're gonna be originally in English, then they'll just get Japanese cast for it.
I guess it just depends on which episode it is.
Because some of them had Japanese voice actors and some of them had
Yeah.
English voice
Well,
actors.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at StarWars.com right now, and they have the English actors first, and then they do have the Japanese actors as well. Um, I am terrible at pronouncing a lot of names, so I am not going to.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so I'm not going to
Because
pronounce those
because
names,
I
but
know the studios themselves were advertising as well
yeah.
and teasing the episodes they were working on to some extent.
Well, that and then we're also getting a novel based on that coincides with the duel that we're going to get with Ronan.
Who's
So
working on the novel? Do you know?
her name is Emma Miko Candon. I've never really heard of her before. The novel hits October 12th. It's called Star Wars Ronin, a Visions novel. So this might actually be a way for them to kind of do the what if thing within this series as well, or expand, like have it as its own pocket universe where like they can tell further stories from these various episodes. Um, like I said, the one that I'm looking forward to the most is Tatooine Rhapsody. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun, especially Bobby Moynihan. He's no stranger to Star Wars. He was on Resistance and he was fantastic there. To have Mark Thompson from the audiobooks come in to do stuff. I'm not the biggest Mark Thompson fan. It depends on the book because I still think his Thrawn sounds a little too much like Jack Sparrow in a way. Um, but it's really cool to see that as well. So, um, just give me some more thoughts and then we'll start to wrap things up here because we are over 2 hours and I am so sorry.
Oof.
I
Yeah,
know John wants to go to bed.
I'm
I'm
exhausted.
really
It's fine.
excited. Oh, oh no, I won't take long for.
No, you're
No,
fine.
no,
You're
no,
fine. You're
you're
fine.
fine.
As long as you need, you're good.
I think anime is the best way to, you mentioned this being like a pocket universe, and like
Hmm.
I think anime and anime fans are like the best people to kind of come into this. Like,
Yeah.
there are far too many anime where it's just like, yeah, well, we've got a movie and it's a spin-off and it's a little bit alternate universe. Like, like Tenchi, like
Yeah.
Evangelion. Evangelion
It's
has
like
had like 4 endings, you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Tenchi has like 7 of them.
Yeah.
7 movies. Like in one universe, Tenchi ends up with someone, he ends up with someone else in another universe. Like
Yeah.
anime fans are so prepped for it to just be like, oh, this is an alternate universe, and they'll be like, all right, like
Yeah.
it's normal.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel so that's why I feel like this is just a fantastic way to introduce that concept to like a
Mhm.
fandom that is still very like sticklery about like, oh, this is canon, this is not. It's just
Yeah.
like, no, it's another realm to play in with Star Wars stories and all the elements you like.
and you don't have to go through 1,000 episodes and like 20 movies and
Some
like
animes you do.
25, yeah, and like 25 volumes of the manga.
One
Um,
Piece is still going on.
I
And
know
300
that was
episodes of filler.
yeah, yeah,
Naruto has like a grandson probably now. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
exactly.
Maybe
Boruto.
Boruto, yeah.
whatever.
Sorry,
No,
but piggyback writing, whatever
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
phrase is
Hmm.
on your comment right there. Yeah, I think like making it an anime will bring more fans into it because anime right now is become extremely mainstream
Hmm.
to some extent. Like back when I was in high school, you would get bullied, whatever. It wasn't popular. Now you see anime anywhere. You could go to a bookstore, you see a bunch of mangas. There's more people in manga aisles than in
Yeah.
like any other novels areas.
No, that's true.
And since we want to see more Star Wars stuff, it's better to bring some anime fans in because they're extremely vocal on what they
Yeah.
want in a good way. In a good way,
Y-
they will start like not harassing, but talking more like, "Hey, we want to see this more. We want to
Mhm.
see more of this character. Please expand on this or make remakes in a
Yeah.
good way." You
Now,
know,
now to piggyback off of what you said with that, how pissed off are some Star Wars fans going to be with this show? Because I'm not going to mention any names, but we do know that there is a section of fandom that is just pure, just, this isn't George Lucas's intention. George never did this. And it's like, this is all inspired by Japanese stuff. So, yes, this
Mhm.
is exactly George's vision. How many people is this going to piss off?
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like that's with every single
yeah,
fandom, whether
yeah.
it's a video game, a movie, a TV
I
show.
mean,
But I think they've come out and been very clear with it. They've said
yeah.
it's not canon, and they've made that very clear from the beginning.
Hmm.
So that for me is enough, regardless who gets mad about it. They've already made
Yeah,
that statement.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think if that segment's going to get mad, I think so. I think they're going to, I think this is going to win over more anime fans,
yes,
maybe than Star Wars fans.
yeah,
And
Mhm.
I think the Star Wars fandom, if they're not already aware of the power of anime fans, they will quickly drown out that negative subgroup of
oh,
Star
yeah,
Wars fandom. Yeah, they'll be vocal on the internet, but I mean, just take a look, like Ellie was saying, like there's just the power of
hmm,
what anime fans can do. You know, they're very vocal in what they want. Like
yeah,
they if they want change, if they want, whatever they want, they will let you
Yeah.
know about it, and they will tell you you're wrong in a
hmm,
loving and caring way, and why
yeah,
you're wrong, and why they are right. And I just think the negative as Star Wars fans are in for a real treat if it does ever come down to that road
yeah.
where they start butting heads with the anime fandom.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a violent type thing, but I think that there's going to be a lot of like the pure fans. And I know Katrina, you and I have talked about how we try not to let things upset us anymore. Just embrace it, especially when it comes to Star Wars, because at the end of the day, this is all about space wizards.
I think at the yeah, exactly. Like it's about space wizard. I'm not my favorite go-to line is like I'm not going to put my lines in my face over this, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But at the same time, I think this series is going to have a positive change
yeah.
on that part of our community. I think it's kind of like again, it's like training. I hate to say it, it's like training the fans to open their minds up a little
Yeah.
bit more and accept this as like a wider art of storytelling.
Hmm.
So I think, of course, the mad people will always be mad. That's what they do. They can
Yeah.
enjoy the lines in their faces. And we will be over here being beautiful and enjoying visions. So,
Yeah, I think that it's time to embrace change, especially
yeah.
as Star Wars fans.
Oh no, more Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
keep it
The
away.
Bring
ones
more
that are
bunny
complaining,
girls.
Oh.
the ones that are complaining about content, it's like, oh, you only want this content when there's all of this content out there just being done. Um, and this opens up the door, as we talked about last week, to a High Republic anime, to like other stories being told. You could do an Old Republic anime and make it canon, and I think that that would be the way to do it. John, I see you're interested down there, but
Disney doesn't have the balls to do that.
No, but they show that they do for this, which is pretty incredible.
I honestly don't think Disney is going to embrace the Old Republic the way everyone wants them
I
to be
know.
completely honest.
Well, get the
I mean, yeah,
anime fans hooked up.
they'll go
Yeah.
back and do stuff, but I just don't see them. I mean, it was too violent.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it was very.
you know,
violent.
it's literally just pure violence with the Mandalorian stuck in the middle of everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I just, I
Yeah.
want it.
I
I want it to
will.
happen.
Well, I do think that there is potential for the Old Republic to come into this, into what Disney has right now. I think it would start with a remaster to introduce that element to
Yeah.
this is a more adult game. Like we had that kind of in Fallen Order. Like the stakes were high, things were really ultra violent. Like the way Trilla died still traumatizes me to this day. And I definitely think there's room for like, especially with the Bad Batch. I think like, that was the conversation, is that like this is Star Wars animation for an older set. So
Yeah.
my hope is that we do, because I love the Old Republic. Revan and Bastila were like my enemies to lovers ship,
Mhm.
man. Like I love them. I love what they did for each other. I thought they were a great pair. I love the cast. I love HK. I think he'd be hilarious, and I think
Mhm.
fans would love him. And like I think that if we got any new Old Republic stuff, it would probably start with a remaster of the game, and then
Yeah.
they'd go from there.
No, that makes sense. So I want to get our final thoughts here about Visions. I know that we've kind of been all over the place in the discussion about it, and that's my fault because I have so many questions. I'm having squirrel moments. Um,
You're not the only one.
yeah. I,
Invited someone with ADHD to this podcast.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I suffer from it, so it's okay. Um, I don't want to say I suffer, but I live with it. Um, this is such a unique opportunity, as we've stated before. Um, is there, I mean, do you see this being that big of a success to the point where we do get a second season for this show? Um, and also, I want to ask, how long do you think these episodes are? Do you think they'll clock in at the normal half-hour anime runtime, or do you think that they'll be like 15-minute shorts or something like that?
I expect them to be different times.
Yeah.
Like 45 minutes.
And yeah, the third. I bet you would probably cut. And depending on the episode, we get between 25 to 45, depending on what they're trying to tell.
Similar to what they did with the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, anybody else want to ring in on this question? Or
I think under 30 minutes. I think like right around 23 to 26 is going to be your range for most of them.
yeah. Now what about
This
a season
just
two?
hit me. The the openings for this is gonna be dope.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what is the music gonna be? Is every episode gonna have a different opening and ending?
Like from a different famous J-pop or J-rock
Oh
artist.
my god,
Like,
BTS
can
Yeah,
is
like,
gonna
you
do every song, aren't
imagine?
they?
Isn't
God,
this
bring.
gonna-
Can
Think
you
about it.
imagine? Can you imagine if they got like
Show's
Tada
over.
for this freaking show? Like, can
Yeah.
you? I give me that.
Now-
Like there are
Oh,
so many.
This is gonna be the weirdest note I'm gonna take. Imagine if they get Miku, the Vocaloid, to do some of the openings. That's never gonna happen, okay? But what if? For
Well-
y'all that don't know what Vocaloid is, it's like a computer program that sings, and it's one of the biggest idols in Japan. It's like a hologram that sings, and it's like different anime characters.
Um,
It's really cool.
I do want to talk about the music real quick because the music in this trailer is really something different, and it's really incredible. To kind of get that poppy club like dance music. Didn't really like the dubstep at the end that much, but
You know
yeah,
what it reminded me of was watching it brought me back to like watching Toonami spots
yes,
when we were
Yeah.
growing up, because
Ooh.
that's what that music was like.
That's very Western anime, though.
Yeah, it's like that one spot
is.
where it was like a boy can dream of the stars, blah blah blah, and it's like from Outlaw
then you
Star.
hear,
And then, oh my, I love that. And then you get like Tom out of nowhere. I flush my foot down the toilet in space or something weird.
So
Yes.
So much potential.
actually, you know what? I just want nice jazz like we got with Cowboy Bebop. That's what I want in a Star
It could be
Wars.
one of the episodes.
I would love that.
I'm really excited for the soundtrack now.
I need
Yeah.
more music like the closing to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Go ahead.
That's
Ooh.
what I want. That is
That could
some
be
of the,
interesting.
I like
We'll have to
normally
look
I
it
like
up.
once I watch an opening and closing of an anime for that season or that arc,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, cool, I like it. I won't go back and listen to it again. I'll just skip over it. Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know. It's something about it. I have to listen to it every time, and
That's how you know it's a good anime.
It's so good.
What
That
if we get
was-
like an opening like Samurai Champloo? That's like a rap.
Oh my god,
Oh
that'd
yeah,
be
they
great.
brought back Nujabes is still they're still active. They still do that, and that would be sick as heck.
I want something ridiculous like Konosuba.
Oh yeah, or Yoko
How
Kano.
about lighthearted
Guys.
episodes? They have something like really dumb.
Eric's like, this is
like all of them
No,
completely
it's
off
chibies
fine.
and
It's
stuff.
fine. Like
I'm
I
sorry.
would love. No, Ellie, you're fine. Stop apologizing.
Brought up a good point.
Yeah, you did bring up a good point about the music or we all brought up a good point about the music because that's synonymous with Star Wars. I mean, look at what Kevin Kiner did with the Bad Batch and with Clone Wars and with Rebels. Um, just incorporating all of these themes. We got some of the Force theme with this trailer as well when we saw some of the lightsaber action. So it's one of those things where music is just as important as the script, as the voice actors, as all of it. I think it sometimes plays an even bigger role here. So we all agree that we're probably going to get season 2 of this series. Hopefully we get some returning characters. I mean, and if we don't, it's fine. Um, I do like the fact that this is an anthology series as well. So there isn't really anything that connects any of these except, hey, it's Star Wars. Um, any last thoughts before we get it before we say goodnight? Um, any last thoughts about Visions? Any last thoughts about Life Day? About
Everyone
Cassian?
buy some really nice red clothes for Life Day because you gotta wear red on Life Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say
make
we do the
food.
Life Day stream. I say we do a Life Day stream. Yeah, yeah.
Can I
Life
dress
Day
up as
cooking
an
stream.
Ewok with a spear?
Yeah, and you have to cook
Do
while you're
whatever.
doing it, Ellie.
Yes.
Bet.
With the
She
spear.
goes bet.
With the spear. With the spear. You know what, folks? This might be my hosting crew from now on. I'm just saying. Um, I do have to say thank you all so much for coming on. Tonight was such a fun night. We did go over the 2-hour mark. I apologize to everybody. Actually, you know what? I don't. It's my show. I don't care. Um, I mean, we had a good time. We talked about Star Wars. If I was all over the place, I apologize. But real quick, I know Fiasco, you plugged yourself last week. Katrina, you plugged yourself last week as well, of where people can find you on social media and everything. Joey, I know that you plugged yourself the last time that you were here, but some people might not be familiar, so let us know where we can find you. And Ellie, please do the same. When it comes to social media. So please, before we go, Ellie, go ahead. Tell us where we can find you. Well, I know where to find you, but
In a store near you. I'm kidding.
exactly. At Celebration next year in the Star
I will
Wars
be
Visions
doing a
2
book
panel.
signing of Life Day dressed as an Ewok next week. I'm kidding. On Twitter, you can find me at Consuesue, ConSueSue, and Instagram, Ellie Uzuki, ELLY. The little line underneath the, what is that called? Underscore?
Underscore.
Underscore Uzuki, Uzuki. And then on Twitch, just Ellie Uzuki. That's it.
All right, Joey.
Yeah, sure thing. You can find me on any platform at Courtside King with K's for the Courtside and the King part. On top of that, OTN Media that John and I are part of, you can
That's
find
right.
pretty much anywhere at OTN Media as well.
And they do amazing stuff, especially when it comes to gaming and esports. We all
We're smart.
Yes, they are a lot of fun. So that is going to be it for us this week. I hope that you all had a wonderful time. I am sorry if this got off the rails at times. You know what? Like I said, I'm not apologizing. I'll shut up now. But at the end of the day, may the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And just remember that besides John,